Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which we meet today and pay our respects to the elders past and present. The AFL values our committed partnership with Indigenous communities and respects the protocols, heritage and culture of all Indigenous people. We would also like to acknowledge our game officials today, led by our central umpires, Matthew Bellina, Sam Ward and Cameron Valenti. To carry out the Premiership Cup, please welcome Leigh Derrick and Cole Burke. Leigh's father, captain and coach Palm Beach Currumbin, while Leigh himself was named in the team of the half-century. Leigh's son Jesse is current captain of the club, highlighting the respect the Derrick name has within the Palm Beach Currumbin Football Club. Cole Burke is a much-loved and respected Labrador Senior Club Life member and member of the Tigers Hall of Fame, first coming to the club as their coach in 1989. Cole is the assistant in the Tigers Team of the Century and is the current chairman of selectors. We would now like to invite everyone to join our players, coaches and umpires in being upstanding the Australian National Anthem performed by Shannon Alexander.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and well-fortified, our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. Let every state advance Australia fair. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
And there it is, a magnificent performance of the Australian National Anthem here at the 2017 QAFL Grand Final between Palm Beach Currumbin Lions and Labrador Tigers. A magnificent day for football here at Fankhauser Reserve on the beautiful Gold Coast. And regardless of the result today, the Cup will stay on the Gold Coast for the third consecutive year. Michael Price is my name. I'll be calling all of your action. And beside me, the Collingwood Premiership player and current coach of the AFLW Brisbane Lions, Craig Starcevich. Stars, it's all set for an absolute cracker here at Southport today.
Yeah, it is, Pricey. Great afternoon too. I've got a fair breeze blowing down to the southern end, which is a little bit unusual here at Southport. But yeah, really looking forward to it after a surprising contest in the final a couple of weeks ago between these two teams.
Yep, Labrador, well, they had basically an undefeated season, went through the round of games with only two, I suppose, non-wins, and they were byes, so they were undefeated. The only loss they've suffered all year was against Palm Beach Currumbin in that qualifying final, and Palm Beach not only beat them, but beat them well, and it was all set up by their pace and their small players up against the tall timber of Labrador. Could we see something similar today?
Yeah, well, that game a couple of weeks ago, what was it, 20 scoring shots to 6. So to keep Labrador to just the 6 shots on goal is an amazing effort. And you and I have spoken before today's game about just the wind and what influence that's going to have on the game. Particularly when you've got a Labrador forward line that's going to rely on their tools taking a few catches down there, Pricey.
Yeah, and some great tools as well, including the captain of the Labrador side, Bryce Retzlaff, averaging 4.2 goals a game. The Hall of Famer himself, Barry Hall, who's going to be a very big target up forward for Labrador, averaging 4.7 goals a game. And of course, on the other side of the fence, you've got the big week that was had by the captain of Palm Beach Currumbin and Jesse Derrick. Would that have taken a little focus away?
Possibly, although I reckon they're a better side with him in the team, no doubt about that.
Absolutely.
But, But yeah, definitely a distraction you don't need coming into grand final week. But let's hope just his presence out there helps the Lions.
Well, Palm Beach Currumbin will be going to your left of screen. Of course, Labrador to the right. Here at Fankhauser Reserve, the umpire bangs it down in the middle. That's a good tap down. It's taken by Harrison, towed forward. It's going to be a good contest. Could have been a free kick there to Dignan, but he did well and scrubbed it inside 50. Nicely picked up by Daniel. Kicks it to a teammate on the outer side. Will take it over the boundary line. Much to the delight of the Labrador crowd over that side, and there will be a throw in at right half forward for Palm Beach Currumbin.
Nice work by big Jed Harrison, the first centre clearance there after contesting the ruck work with Goldsmith there in the middle.
The breeze is basically blowing to your right of screen, but it is a swirly breeze here at Southport today. 30 odd degrees. Beautiful day for football as Southport win another clearance. This is a high bombing ball and it's a big one-on-one. It bounces awkwardly for Labrador. Palm Beach Currumbin have got it. That's a magnificent tackle, holding it up at centre half forward for Labrador.
Yeah, that's a really good sign for the Tigers, just to have someone at ground level there. It looked like Nick Jackson making the tackle at ground level. He's going to need to do a lot of that with the tall timber they've got in that part of the ground.
Retzlaff won the tap out, but it's cut off there. Well done. Taking it away, Tyne kicks it, smothered. Now a handball into the middle of the ground, into the corridor. Dignan again, Handball away. Good tackling effort there by Brain. They still get the ball away, do the Lions. Running back Kenny, he reads it well. Takes the mark in front of John McCanch. He's going to go to right half forward looking for a Retzlaff and hits him on the chest, the ample chest of Retzlaff. He's got Barry Hall leading, drops it in front of him. The ball went around his ankles, so Palm Beach will be able to clear it here. Handball comes across there. Conan. He's under a lot of pressure, goes back to the goal square. Little chipping pass, and this is good. They're going to maintain possession here. Well played by Woolley. He's the X factor in the Palm Beach Currumbin side today. It wasn't the greatest of kicks. It's going to come straight back for Labrador. A little bit stagnant there, not a lot of movement in the forward line for Labrador, Starson.
No, a little bit. I thought the exit for the Lions wasn't the greatest either. Pricey coming out, probably need to use it a little bit better.
Barry Hall was the target. It was punched away from him and scrubbed out of 50, and it goes straight back to whence it came.
It's another one of those dump kicks outside the back 50, and they're just queuing up there, Labrador, waiting to pick it off. Not a great kick going inside the 50 though.
And Barry Hall had a couple of metres on his opponent there, and the kick just wasn't delivered in the manner it should have been. So McNevin has it now. Gets around. Nice bit of evasive work and hits his
that's much better.
Teammate, Jed Harrison again.
Much better to work the ball out, play the ball out of your back 50 the way they have done. Now they get a chance to go forward.
There's the skipper in Jesse Derrick. Kicks it inside 50, Mills at the back, and a good defensive effort there by Daniel. Ball's brought down. Labrador should have the numbers. Daniel again. Walker tackled. Could have been pinged, but here comes Wade Mills, last year's Joe Grant medalist. He turns it over, kicked in by McCanch. Big effort at the back, well done defensively. Roving at the front there was Headland, had his legs taken out. Here they go again. Well done to Jared Douglas. Has he kicked a goal? The first of the game? No, it's wide. It's one behind. So a little scrappy, but still both sides showing their intent early.
Yeah, just like the way they went long and deep inside the forward line there, and the ball probably just dropped a little bit short for the Lions' tools, and Douglas had a heap of time to come around on his left and didn't make the most of it.
Adam Clark just took the ball over the boundary line. Got a little bit of a shove for his trouble. So it's at right half forward for Palm Beach Currumbin doing the attacking at the moment.
A little bit of niggle out there too, Pricey, just watching a couple of little contests. A little bit of push and shove.
Oh, well done by Goldsmith, but he couldn't quite take the handle of the ball. It was taken by Derrick. He's tackled, loses it. It was just placed directly on the ground. Could have been a free kick there. Burge overruns it, kicks it inside 50 now. Palm Beach Currumbin. What are they going to do? Labrador just on hands and knees there. It was a great tackle. Could have been pinged for holding the ball. Well done there by Gleeson. Gets it away. It's hacked out of defence there by Portelli. And boy, that was a long kick too. It's going to bounce. Oh, just keep going and going and going. And Barry Hall now, he uses his strength. He gets rid of Emblem. But the ball bounces awkwardly. Well done there to Troutman. And he kicks it across the face. Now Liam McNevin. He's at back pocket. Oh, he tries to measure a pass. Well done, the big fella, to get down there.
This is much better by the Lions. Their last two exits from that part of the ground, Pricey, have been a lot better than the first couple we saw. Just hitting up short targets on the way out and keeping possession, number one priority.
You just saw that ball hold up as Dirk Conan actually kicked it down the outer side. Just held up as we're kicking to the left of screen. Was taken over the boundary line for another throw-in. Harrison versus Goldsmith. Give that one to Harrison from behind. Good tap. Labrador's just being dispossessed now. Good pressure in the clinches by Palm Beach early. It's kicked inside 50 for the Tigers, and the Lions have got it absolutely covered. Well done there to Troutman again, who's had a couple of deft touches early. He's going to get it again. He's going to loop a handball over the top. Now they can get out. This is coming out here to Woolley. He'll go over the top. No, he's going straight to the corridor. He's got a man there in Tyler Cornish. He's just chips it to him. He was just playing
really
with us, wasn't he? Here comes Cornish from 25 and kicks the first goal of the grand final.
There's some super footy there, Pricey, on the way out. The composure by Troutman deep in defence was outstanding, and then you need someone to take the game on and hang on to the footy and back yourself to run and carry through the corridor. And Woolley was absolutely outstanding. Had Cornish out the corner of his eye all the way through, running shotgun on his left-hand side, chipped it over to him, and Tyler Cornish did the rest. So really good run and carry up into this strong breeze, Pricey, which is the way to go about it, I think.
Absolutely. So this is how they beat Labrador in that semi-final, or the qualifying final, was using their explosive pace and the X-factor abilities of Josh Woolley. They're fantastic. The clearance is going to come out for the Tigers, though. It's a high sky ball. Big body contest, and well roved there by Hicks. Scrubs it forward inside 50 now. Labrador want to answer this challenge. Retzlaff's tackled off the ball. Well done by Harrison. Gets the ball away to Troutman, and he's had a good couple of touches early. Now Jesse Derrick. Will it bounce for him? He controls it. Gets tackled. That's a superb tackle. It could have been rewarded there. It's stuck underneath him.
And he dragged it back in.
And he dragged it. Yeah. Well, quite frankly, that's as close to holding the ball. He's had a very fortunate week as Jesse Derrick.
Yeah, Todd Featherstone outstanding there, just getting after Derrick. But Derrick did drag the footy back in, Pricey. I thought he was gone.
Very lucky. Playing for the free kick there was Jacob Dawson. Nothing doing there, claiming the high contact.
There is a team out there at the moment that's applying all sorts of pressure, Pricey, and it's the one in the maroon jumper, I reckon, at this point. Really good start to Palm Beach Currumbin.
Well done. There's Josh Woolley again. Capable of doing most things on a football field, this young man. Now he looks to play on. Uses the left foot, tries to measure a pass, and it's punched over the boundary line. Defensive effort there by Jaden Young.
Might have been best just to take the fist away then. Young, he might have got the ball back. But anyway, boundary throwing.
Could have been out in the full, definitely through the interchange gates and right on the QAFL logo. Good piece of handball there, came from Dawson, and then Dignan puts it inside 50. Well roved, could be a free kick here. If a hold, it'll go against Jared Douglas.
It's interesting, that one, isn't it? Like the guy that takes front spot or side on, you know, you always think it's maybe the guy from behind that's given away the free, but it's ended up going to Labrador. Oh, Labrador, yep.
Yeah, and Wade Mills, nice grab there by Caleb Graham.
That's a terrific grab.
Young player, he's got some good balance. He plays on.
Swirly
Takes
conditions.
it right on too. And how's about the pass from the young man? Oh, inside 50, and he hits Ben Headland. Great bit of work from a young fella in a grand final early.
You call it a pass, Pricey?
Oh, I'll give it to him.
Righto.
Off the inside of the shoe.
Just a tad, but it's landed with Benny Headland, and all's well that ends well, mate, in footy like that. You keep the ball nice and flat and low going inside, and most importantly, get it in there quick, and anything could happen. But pretty fortunate here, Benny Headland.
Ben Headland. He starts it right, and it's going to go even further right into the pocket. Palm Beach with the roving effort. Here comes McDonald. He hooks it back around and can't quite finish it off, one behind. So 1-2-8 to the Lions, to Labrador yet to score.
Go ahead, mate. I was just going to say they've got some time. The the Palm Beach ground level players inside their forward 50, the times they've been able to crumb and get around, have a good look at the goals, they've had heaps of time to have a ping.
As Labrador bring the ball out, it's going to end up on the wing. Geez, an undersized contest there, but it ended up going over the back of the pack. Well done by Jackson. Gets a handball away though. It's intercepted by Heron. Heron inside 50. Good defensive effort by Jaden Young. Rooney is his nickname. He was best in the preliminary against Broadbeach as well. The ball comes back to half-back. It's with Buderick.
Under 16 Queensland captain this year, Connor Buderick. Going to be a player of the future.
Does find the foot. He's sort of messed it around a little bit there. Burge, the Grogan medalist with Wade Mills, puts it into the forward pocket. And it's taken by Headland. He's going to chip it inside, and there's no marking whatsoever from the Labrador Tigers as Jared Douglas takes the mark. And as you said, Stars, they've got plenty of time, and there's a bit of feeling behind the play as well.
It's there's some real concerns down there in the Labrador back 50. Just the lack of urgency to cover off, and also to get after the opposition once the marking contest is over. There's very little pressure going on there, or alertness, or urgency, whatever you want to call it. But far too easy for the Lions at the moment.
Jared Douglas, who's best this year, 7 goals against Sandgate back in May. Not going to worry about it there. That's one behind. So 139 to Palm Beach. Labrador yet to score. And we might add that wind that was howling a little bit early to the right of screen has died down a little, but it is still favouring where the end that Labrador are kicking to.
He's had 2 great opportunities too, Douglas. The snap on his left early in the quarter was, he had plenty of time, and that set shot he really should have done better.
Jaden Young goes down the outer side. Well done by Palm Beach. Great tackle there by Featherston. The ball stuck underneath. Can't quite read that player at the moment. He gets up. That's the vice captain in Stephen Tyne. Knows this ground well, having played with Southport. Well done, the young fella in Graham. Again, got a lovely tap down. So Palm Beach got the ascendancy at ground level, inside 50, and Labrador is set up. They've dropped another one back. That's Sam Walker. Walker goes long down to the outer wing. Good effort in front there was Davidson for Labrador, but they've turned it over again. Palm Beach are just reading it beautifully at ground level. It's going to end up with Tyler Cornish. What can the young fella do from 40? He sprays it a bit. Not picked up by Stephen Tyne, and then eventually picked up by Douglas. Tackled, ball thrown to ground. That's another good tackle. That just saved the effort there by Circum. Ball's going to get stuck underneath him. There's the Labrador tackler there, just got to see through the bodies.
Again, good explosiveness there, approaching the 50-metre arc there by Tyler Cornish. Just needs to elevate the kick a little bit.
Oh, how about the roving? Tom Tyne, off the ruck contest, just hit it like Nick Davis in the final between Geelong and Sydney all those years ago. Just read it beautifully. Went through and kicked another goal. They've got a couple on the board now, Palm Beach. And I tell you what, as he went past, he just gave one of the big fellas from Labrador a little bit of a touch up in Andy Hollis. So very interesting indeed, Stars.
Early days in this game, that little action on the way off might come back to haunt you. But yeah, nice bit of roving there by Tom Tyne, no doubt about that. Just that stoppage player that can get on the move around a forward stoppage price is so dangerous. There's normally one person that they'll isolate at a stoppage like that, the team in offence, and Tom Tyne was the one on that occasion just to burst through, bit of momentum, gather the ground ball and finish off.
Now Labrador go into attack. It's actually towed off the deck and it bounces kindly for them at half forward. They need to get something moving quickly. They're running with this breeze. Tom Davidson overruns it. It goes inside 50, bounces away from Portelli. Oh, well done in defence again. McCanch has got it. Handball there over to Jesse Derrick. Kicks it into the middle of the ground. It's with Tyler Cornish. What can he do? Gets around an opponent. Chips it up. Well done. They've got it covered. I just did not have the awareness. Didn't seem coming. Has to be holding the agate. The umpire's taken his time. And there's a good crunching tackle there.
Yeah, just no awareness really what was going on there. But perhaps Tyler Cornish could have maybe indicated to his teammate that he was under the pump. But yeah, just a bad turnover.
Jacob Kenny, and it went to Retzlaff and then to Barry Hall. Very much within his distance. considering that he is, with that breeze that is going to the right of screen, it is cutting across the ground a little. So this is almost the perfect spot to have a go at it.
There's probably only the second quality ball going forward from Labrador today, really, to their key forwards. Retzlaff marked one out here on the wing earlier, and Hall now has the long shot.
From 55, he makes the goal umpire work a little. One behind results. Their first score of the game after 5 scoring shots to the Lions. So Labrador get on the board. 2-3-15 to Palm Beach Currumbin to 1 behind to Labrador. Well done there to McNevin. Kicks it long. Goes to right half back. No, it's just overcooked a little.
Out in the full, it should be.
It must have been juggled over the boundary line.
Jeez.
Not quite a mark, not quite out of bounds on the full, so it will be a throw-in.
Woolley didn't grab that one touch, so anyway, umpire's got it now. He's in a better spot than us. But those three, Troutman, McNevin and Woolley, have been superb so far for the Lions.
His desperate stakes, it's just towed off the deck inside 50, and again, well done to Troutman. Gets the ball away. Back to McNevin, kicks it long. Well done. That's a good little mark there taken by Hicks. Now, what's he going to do? He's going to kick it inside 50 towards Hall. Hall had the body strength, but well done. The Palm Beach defence again. They're under siege. Retzlaff tackles. The ball spills. Can they get out? They do. McNevin kicks it in. That's a push in the back. Not a problem to Jed Harrison. He had a hand on the 2 and the 3. And just pushed him straight through.
Again, ground level Lions in their back 50, mopping up really well and playing the ball out very nicely.
And that was well done to get forward. But look, how's the roving from Brad McDonald? Kicks it inside 50. Wade Mills being held.
It's gone the other way.
Wade Mills not being held.
Well,
it will go to Ben Headland, who's more or less actually got a defensive role on the key defender. He gives the handball off to Brad McDonald. He's a silky mover. This time puts it away for 1 behind. 2-4. Plays 1 behind. I was still surprised at that Wade Mills free kick there, but when Palm Beach beat them in that qualifying final, Stas, they really did a defensive number on their best defender, and there was a bit of a hit over the top there from the young fella, and that could blow up into something a little bit ugly here. Behind the play, you've got Tom Davidson, who's still on his haunches. There's a few jumperies going in there between Caleb Graham and Damien Hector.
Serkin was the one that jumped in there and didn't like what was going on, and there's a few little wrestles going on. I think Palm Beach Currumbin, something's happened here on the way off.
And I tell you what,
that was Serkin.
Anthony Serkin has just got one of the players on the way off, and the umpire's gone straight over to him on the bench there. It was actually Zach Brain, who I am led to believe from Labrador people that they love him, but everybody else in the comp hates him. Is that correct?
There's been...
because of the way he goes about it. He's just a hard little fella. So
there's been a report, definitely. The field umpire in the middle of the ground's got the book out here, Pricey, but...
that will be against Serkin, I dare say, because the free kick has gone to Zach Brain, and as he was coming off Serkin, he just basically delivered one.
Yeah,
and now he kicks it towards Barry Hall. If they start a blue, I'm not standing next to Barry Hall. I give you the tip. Ball hits the deck now. Palm Beach Currumbin again out of defence. As soon as it hits the deck, Stas, they clean it up, and Labrador look very slow coming out. Palm Beach down the outer side of the ground.
We mentioned that early in the broadcast, Pricey, that we just thought that ground level, unless Labrador are taking plenty of marks inside their forward 50 with Hall and Retzlaff, it's going to be hard work for them. And Palm Beach are actually running the ball out. So going back to Serkin's action there, I can't believe he'd go and instigate something like that, Pricey, when you're 2 goals up into the breeze. It's such high risk to take your team's complete focus away from what they're doing by starting something relatively insignificant, but it's cost him probably a report.
Yep, and a momentum shifter, as you say.
Just too big a risk in a grand final.
Now Palm Beach now just looking to calm it down and maintain possession of the ball. Well done to Liam McNevin. He kicked it to the outer side. Jacob Kenny's going to clean up for Labrador. Kicks it back into the corridor. It's ill-directed. Again, Palmy have got it covered. Stephen Tyne, the vice-captain, chips it forward and finds Dignan. He's under pressure and there for Brain. Still kicks it inside 50. It bounces very kindly there for Cornish. Gets a handball away. under pressure. Labrador just trying to scrub it out. Cornish is there again. Goes back into traffic. Gives it to Douglas. Over the top. Oh, dropped a pud. Cornish leaves it. Palm Beach still trying to manufacture something out of this 50. There's a shot and it's missed. They had so many chances there, Stas.
Didn't they?
And it just couldn't quite get the handle on the ball. 2-5-17, the one behind. You'd still rather be in Palm Beach's position, but they're not making Labrador pay ultimately for it. Ratzlaff at the back. Nice bit of roving from Jackson. It's the ball back to Brain. Scrubbed as he kicks a spiralling mongrel that lands into the hands of Butterick. So Connor Butterick, an exciting young fella. You know a lot about this boy, Stas. He kicks it into the right forward pocket. It was a well-delivered kick and a nice mark there. It's taken by Andy Hollis.
Yeah, it's really good composure by the young fella just to spot up the right option going forward. It was just the long kick out of defence for Labrador that landed with Ratzlaff here at half forward. Really difficult to take, you know, a guy with such good hands in the air to take an overhead mark when it's travelled 60 or 70 is harder than it looks, and they've really got to use the footy a little bit shorter and a little bit better and a little bit more precisely going forward to Labrador. Otherwise, you're asking too much of your key forwards to hang on to those long kicks.
It was Nick Jackson and unfortunately couldn't finish it off for the Tigers. So it's going to be kicked in by Palm Beach Currumbin. And again, they're happy to just chip it around and make sure that they find the targets. Troutman put it forward.
He's been terrific, Troutman.
Again, maintaining possession of the ball. Jason Burge kicks it inside there to Conan. Jesse Derrick, good spoiling effort by Daniel. Ball hits the deck. Daniel shoots a handball across. Woolley didn't quite go in and get it. It was Davidson who did for Labrador, but turned it over. And here comes Burge down the middle of the ground. Puts it in front of your forward. Good defensive effort there by Jacob Kenny. But at the foot of the big fella, there goes Burge again. Sweeping handball. Dawson from 30 chips it into the goal square more or less. And they are playing with them at the moment at ground level, the Palm Beach Currumbin Lions. He plays on, does McDonald, and kicks yet another goal. 3 goals, 5, 23 to 1 behind, and Labrador are the ones kicking with the breeze. Palm Beach Currumbin have started beautifully.
Brad McDonald.
You called it, mate. They're all over them at ground level. That contest, about 70 out from goal, just inside the centre square. A little snapshot there. There was about 6-2, I reckon, at ground level there. Lions, Jumpers to Tigers. They just were all over them with the ground level ball and were able to sweep it away. Jason Burge starting to get his hands on it a bit more at the back end of the quarter, Pricey, which is another good sign for PBC. But yeah, really all over them at ground level and running the ball up into the wind. Yeah, just doing a really good job at ground level at the moment.
Now,
the Lions.
If it continues in this vein, and Jason Burge in particular continues to rack up possessions, he's going to hurt Labrador with his foot skills. So we'll see how it goes. From the middle of the ground, the Tigers need to get a wriggle on in the first term here at Fankhauser Reserve. A beautiful day for football for the 2017 QAFL Grand Final. Good hit out, well done there by Davidson, tackled and still gets away. Puts it to half forward. Now what can the Tigers manufacture here? They need something. Long kick to the goal square. That's not going to help. It's straight down the throat, but it went over the top of Graham's head, hit the base of the post, but it was basically not a kick to anybody's advantage.
Well, no, I mean, they're kicking a lot of long points at the moment, aren't they? Which is the danger when you've got such a strong breeze that you tend to blaze away from 50 or 60 and all you end up with is long points.
So Labrador at right half forward. Palm Beach just going in hell for leather at the moment. It's Brain, he's over the top and it's stuck under several bodies. There's scragging going on all over the place here. Once again, Zach Brain gets up a little gingerly and cops another couple of jumperies there from Tyler Cornish. Just equating himself. Well done there to Dawson, but he couldn't quite break through. There's a good tackle from Tom Davidson, and this is threatening to really boil over here. It's just simmering at the moment, this contest.
I actually don't mind what Tyler Cornish did, because it was cold aggression. He got away from the player straight away, as opposed to what Circum did earlier.
Yeah.
So much smarter and much more controlled by Tyler Cornish.
Oh, some good tackling there from Butterick. Kept the ball inside 50 for Labrador, but here's Burge imposing himself at ground level. Great skills around his ankles, and make sure that Palm Beach get away. Now they are out here, if they can maintain possession. It's a little chipping pass. It finds McCanch. McCanch kicks longer. Will it bounce kindly for Woolley? Well, it doesn't. He got dragged away without it, but he really made the umpire have a look at that one, didn't he?
He certainly did. I was just waiting for him to gather and swing onto his left, but he's ended up with the free, but he milked it for all it was worth, that's for sure.
Inside 50 for Woolley, kicks it to the... Oh, the young man, that's a great double grabber from Caleb Graham.
Oh. He worked his way to the front really well there, did Graham, just to... it was never his footy, he just managed to edge in front of his opponent. Did he hold it long enough? Not too sure, but he's marked it in the right spot, Pricey, right in front of the Lions faithful over on the hill there, which... might have helped the umpy make his decision, Pricey.
The noise of affirmation here at Southport as Caleb Graham comes in. Makes no mistake. Kicks the fourth goal for Palm Beach Currumbin here in the grand final. A ripping first quarter for the Lions. And Caleb Graham kicks his fifth goal of the year. So it's 4-5-29 to 2 behinds.
Yeah, this is huge. A huge opening, really, when you think of it. Like, to have 9 scoring shots to 2, kicking up into what we think's 2 to 3 goal breeze. This is an amazing start by Palm Beach Currumbin, just to not only control the game but hit the scoreboard and put the pressure on the opposition, Pricey. So remains to be seen what happens after that. Little scuffle behind play again. Tyler Cornish involved. No surprise there, but all looks to be under control.
Just saw it was a little bit of a byplay. One of them was having a drink of water and the other one knocked the bottle out of his hand. That was basically it, a little bit of byplay behind as it goes on in the middle, and where the ball is. The old Richard Hadley chant goes across the ground as well. As Palm Beach Currumbin, they are saved by a nice mark by Callum McBurney at centre half-back. He chips it across to Dignan, who started the game well. He's at right half-back. He's going to go to the outer side. Numbers were there. Tom Tyne jumped into the back of his opponent, gave a free kick away, and it was a 2-on-1 advantage. They just need to hold his ground.
Yeah, he did, just didn't judge the flight, gave away the free kick.
So Labrador looking for any kind of chance at the moment. That's a good lead and a good mark taken there by the skipper in Ratzlaff. 27.5 gone in this first term. It's kicked inside 50. Oh, what a ripping mark from Adam Clark.
That's a great grab. Absolutely no right there.
Not entitled to take it, but he handballs it off to Sam Walker, who sprays it wide, and it's out of bounds on the full. You need to aim it at the left goal post at least to have it dragged back in with that breeze.
Pricey, their shots on goal have all been around the 50-metre arc. 4 or 5 of them I can think of in this quarter where they've either missed altogether or kicked those long points we were talking about.
Clark did well again and nicely smothered off the hands from Tom Davidson. We'll have a throw in at 55 metres away from the Labrador goal. It seems like they're seduced by the fact that they're so tall and powerful, Labrador. And they just keep banging it in there.
They're having pings from outside 50 or they're just driving it long to those key targets. There's not much going on for them at ground level in their forward 50.
Well, they've lost one game all year and it was against Palmy, and Palmy ran them off their feet a couple of weeks ago, as they did here. Oh. Dignan. That's a lucky kick. We'll call that a pass again. That's McCanch. It's hit him on the chest.
Good old-fashioned floater. It was a beauty, wasn't it?
It is a floater, but if you're playing in front, it does help, doesn't it? Yeah, tried to measure a pass.
They're reading everything. That early in the quarter, that kick to Headland that went forward, same thing really. You just got to be in front, anticipate better than the opposition, scuffle behind play. Graham involved there.
As the umpire looks directly over the top, and it's not going to stop there because we're going to have a few acquaintances renewed on the forward 50 here. That is the quarter time break, but we'll keep an eye on things here.
In our QAFL Senior Grand Final between Palm Beach.
It is threatening to bubble over. There's a few jumpers being held, nothing dramatic going on, just a bit of presence.
Two behinds. Goal scorers.
There's one jumper that's completely and utterly gone.
14,
I hope they've got a spare.
17.
That's Jaden Young, who might be changing from number 1.
Thomas Time.
Now, if I imagine it, you've had the Palm Beach players, they're into each other, Retzlaff, and there's Jaden Young there, continuing to walk through. You just see a whole bunch of Palm Beach Currumbin players continue to walk to their huddle, and just one bloke walking quietly up to his position was Barry Hall.
Yeah.
Just quietly.
Yeah.
I'd still keep an eye.
Correct. You just.
Well, there it is. It was the end of a very eventful first term, and it belonged to Palm Beach Currumbin. 4-5-29 to Labrador 2 behinds. It's quarter time in the 2017 QAFL Grand Final. Oh no, thank you. Oh, I'd like something. Yeah. No, just
No.
Is that possible? Thank you.
Just the water, thank you.
Yeah. Geez, they've beaten them up, sorry. Yeah, mate, yeah. I'm great with faces, chocolate with names half the time, Darren.
Those families here with children, we have golden bear at our venue tonight that located
G'day.
all the different
Yeah, thanks very much. Tyler, Corny, and 29, young bird, or bird, Grogan.
I should be, but I'm not.
Oh dear. I reckon,
Oh, tribal, yeah. I've got stats here, mate. So. Oh. Yeah, I'm trying to get this one to work. Right, for some reason.
So who's picked the goal?
Cornish one. We've got it right, haven't we?
I've got Cornish, Fine, McDonald, and
McDonald.
last one.
Headland.
No, he said Headland, but it was Graham, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Caleb, no.
Yeah, I've got Graham.
The grand announcer said Headland, and it wasn't him.
Yeah, no, it was Graham. Yeah, that's right. So
That's it.
right.
So it's
Yeah, so we're right. We've got Graham, Tom Tyne, Cornish, and Brad McDonald.
bingo.
Yeah.
We know what we're talking about, Stars.
Harrison's had 9 disposals in the ruck. Fair effort. Conan's had 7 in the back. Yep, back 50.
From 61, he's doing well.
Woolly's had 9.
Ladies and gentlemen, can all spectators please leave the playing arena as we prepare for the second quarter of the QAFL Senior Grand Final.
Wow.
Oh, win. What's going on here? I'd rather do AFL Kids than netball. Don't get this in netball. Sorry, mate.
Oh, it's about a ripping some pizza.
Go on. What about a massage? Just a nice little shoulder massage. Sometimes it's hard going identifying the players. I went to, I even watched them as much as I said so much time this week because no audio.
No. It's one of those things. The first quarter is always the hardest.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And welcome back to Fankhauser Reserve on the beautiful Gold Coast here at Southport. It is the 2017 QAFL Senior Grand Final between Palm Beach Currumbin and Labrador, and at quarter time, well, Palmy are doing it on the bit, 4-5-29 to Labrador, 2 behinds. Michael Price calling your action with the legendary Craig Starcevich, and Stars, they just killed him at ground level.
Yeah, they're amazing. Just having a look at some of the numbers, Pricey. What have we got? 54 more possessions, 105 to 51 for the quarter, if you don't mind, in favour of the Lions. And the people that are getting their hands on the footy for the Lions have been amazing, really. In their back half, I mean, their mids, Bird started to get his hands on it. He's got 7. Cornish has got 7. Dignan 8. And the ruckman Harrison has got 9. But in their back half, it's the Conans, Troutman, Woolley. That crew are all getting plenty of the footy as well.
It was an awkward bounce, and it was Harrison who went up and missed the ball. Palm Beach will be able to get out, and Harrison lays a tackle, and the ball spills. Again, there's half a dozen players in a pack here. The umpire's got no option but to ball it up. So, yeah, absolutely tallying them up possession-wise. So they're just collecting the ball, they're holding onto it, and then they're hitting targets.
Holding onto it's the key. 31 marks to 17 in the first quarter. So, spotting up opponents, honouring the short lead, and keeping possession of the footy.
Well, Wade Mills crashes the pack. Ball spills, roving well. McDonald kicks it long, and again, it dribbles through for a behind.
4th shot at goal for Brad McDonald, 1 goal 3. Could have had 2 or 3 by now, Pricey, but they don't want to fall into the same trap as Labrador, having those long shots 40 or 50 out.
No, just keep moving the ball and, as you say, controlling it, making sure they hold onto it and getting it inside, attacking 50. Now, I believe, is that Jaden Young who's running around in a different jumper now? We've got to double check that one. Well done to Daniel. Takes the defensive mark for Labrador. Just stagnant, not a lot of movement for him, so he's just going to go long down the line. A pack of players. Wade Mills read it best, got to the front of the pack. He handballed it to Clark. Clark put his teammate in Goldsmith under pressure, tackled, and the ball's stuck underneath. Again, it's Headland who comes up, is it? Gives the ball back to the umpire.
Just need to control the footy for a little bit here, Labrador. If they get a chance to take a mark, maybe chip it around, keep possession for a little while before they go forward. Just a little bit too anxious to get going.
And how about this boy, Caleb Graham?
That's a great
That is
grab.
the 3rd ripping mark he's taken in a quarter and a half, and that was a floating mongrel inside 50. He did beautifully to take that in front of Matt Daniel.
Just jumps at the footy, doesn't he? He's got nice clean hands, judges the flight really well, and in the last couple of steps just times his jump perfectly and gets a nice clean grab at the footy.
Got a bit of Harris Andrews about him as the Brisbane Lions go.
No doubt.
He's going to let go from about 35. He leans back a bit on it, and that's why it's gone across the face of goal, 1 behind. So they're wasting their chances to put Labrador away early. That's 11 scoring shots to 2, 4-7-31 to 2 behinds.
He's had 3 shots also, so they're certainly having a look at the goals down there of the Lions forwards. But of all the sides to miss, that seems... The wind's actually blowing across here down there, isn't it?
Yeah,
so you would have think it comes back towards the goals, but anyway.
It's actually coming from the left goal post across. It's swirling a little bit down there. And we saw a couple of shots in the reserve grade grand final, which was won by Morningside over Wilston Grange. And in the Colts as well, Morningside had a double. They annihilated the young Sherwood side. Throw in over the head of Harrison. Goldsmith smacks it back towards the boundary line. It's picked up there by Ritchie. He's tackled, and we'll have another throw in at left half forward for Palm Beach Currumbin, still holding sway.
Camped inside their forward half, isn't it? Just Harrison done a great job so far today, Pricey. Just giving away a few centimetres to Goldsmith, but done really well in the contest around the stoppages, but also getting enough of the footy himself.
Oh, Burge there, tackled by Brain. He loves to tackle Zach Brain, and he's won a free kick. Takes the free kick at right half back. Kicks it down the line. and overcooks the kick. It's touched off, hands over the head of Nick Jackson, and will be a throw in, more or less on the outer wing.
You're right about that lack of run. Just
there's nothing.
Keeping possession and some run and carry up into the breeze is the way to go about it, which we saw Palm Beach Currumbin do really well in the first quarter. Labrador just don't look like they really want to carry the footy today.
Yeah, Burge under a bit of pressure there, gets the handball away. Of course, a player from each side today shared in the Grogan medal. Wade Mills for Labrador and Jason Burge for Palm Beach Currumbin. Two magnificent players of different ilks. Throw in. Goldsmith decisively got it down, but how about the defensive pressure from Palm Beach? It's just hacked forward by Labrador, and that's about as close as they've got inside 50. Fumble there by McNevin. It's towed forward for the Tigers. McNevin goes back and cleans up and then shows a clean pair of heels. He kicks it towards centre forward. Oh boy, sign him up.
Got good hands, hasn't he?
Caleb Graham, 4 magnificent marks, good vision, and see that the breeze just took it over the head of Tyler Cornish. It was actually a reasonably well measured pass. He was by himself. Wade Mills just knocked it over the boundary line.
Not sure what he's blowing up about, Tyler Cornish down there, but he was 20 metres in the clear inside his forward 50, but
Ball just carried a little high.
The young fella just probably didn't weight his kick well enough, but he's doing a good job, Caleb Graham.
It was well done by Daniel. Risky. It's hacked out of defence. It's going straight over the boundary line, out of bounds on the full. So it's coming straight back in to attacking 50 for Palm Beach Currumbin. Might as well pitch one of those hospitality tents there because they just are living in it. Well done there to Stephen Tyne, the vice captain. Kicks it to a big pack, defensive effort. Nice mark taken by Wade Mills, last year's Joe Grant medalist.
Does that well, Wade Mills. Just likes being sort of third up in the marking contest and just drifting across and taking those intercept marks.
So that was a kick by Goldsmith, but again, puts it out front of Barry Hall. He collects it, cops a little bit from the crowd as well. Now they've decided to run it by hand. Hector, long to right half forward. Brain did well, controlled it on the boundary line. Has a ping from 50. Oh, that could have been a ripping goal.
Did well.
It was well played. Probably one of the most exciting forays forward for Labrador so far. 28 points the margin in favour of the Lions. And coming out of defensive 50 now. Onto the logo, Jesse Derrick. Hands in the back, just dropped the melon a little bit. At the back there it was McDonald. Gets it back to Derrick, inside 50. At the back of the pack, it was Heron, tackled by Mills. That's better defensive work from Labrador. Except it pops out now. Mills couldn't quite control it. Towed off the deck, almost missing his foot. McDonald in the goal square. It's going to pop out here. It's going to end up with Tom Tyne, who's going to kick his second from the top of the square. They were mucking around with it. Labrador scrubbing inside the goal square, but Palmy are keeping their feet and they're keeping the scoreboard ticking over regardless. And Labrador can do all the push me, shove you they like. Try putting one on the board. That'll hurt them.
I got nervous as soon as that handball went back inside the corridor from the small Labrador defender there. As soon as it popped back into that part of the ground, top of the goal square, it was game on as far as Palm Beach Currumbin's small forwards went. Pricey in that part of the ground just gives you a chance to keep competing with the ball at ground level.
Their dominance at ground level, we've been banging on about it, but it is so pronounced.
Yep, no doubt. There's just a nice balance down there in their forward line. They've got no super talls down there that they're relying on, although Graham's done super well. He's in the ruck now, but he's really the only one taking an overhead mark down there. Everything else is happening at ground level.
Procession out of the middle. Dignan kicks it. Great mark. Is that Jared Douglas again? It certainly is. Gee, he's got a good set of hands on him.
That's just as I said, there was no one else down there taking an overhead mark.
And he conks one, yeah.
He's got on the lead, but super kick by Dignan coming out of the stoppage in the middle. Just you wouldn't want it any better than that coming into your forward half.
They are smashing at the moment, Palmy. Here comes Jared Douglas. Oh, that's an awful kick. He's
unbalanced.
Kicked 40 goals for the year.
Yeah.
and he's had a couple of shots already and lucky to score on both occasions.
That's his third behind, and he's had two really pretty easy set shots. One in the first quarter. I wouldn't say it's easy kicking into the breeze, but that one there was very, very gettable.
So Gleeson kicked it up to Connor Butterick. The young fella got over the boundary line, and we'll have another throw in. It's 55 metres from Palm Beach Currumbin's goal. At the moment, you can't see how Labrador are going to pull it back.
Yeah, I agree. They can't get out of this part of the ground, Pricey. So there's been a couple of behinds kicked down here by Palm Beach already this quarter, but their exiting back out of their back 50 has been shaky at best.
Well done to Caleb Graham. Again, at ground level, the big fella can do it as well. Gave it back to Dawson. He's tackled. Ball spills over the boundary line. Remember last year's grand final starts, the same two sides played and Labrador won the game. And I was watching Max Spencer running around for Palm Beach Currumbin. You think, geez, and those kids just stick out, and he got picked up by the Suns. And Caleb Graham, to me, in the first quarter and a half, has
been terrific. And down the other end, Dirk Conan as well has been super for the Lions so far.
It's a little bit of a production line for Palm Beach Currumbin, isn't it?
Yeah, they're doing well.
Very well indeed.
And you think of the other ones that have come through in recent times too, like your Tyler Cornish is an ex-Suns Academy boy as well. So there's certainly a nice little youth production line going on at the Lions.
So it's going to go inside 50 again. It's taken over there, yeah. In the number 57, I believe that's Jaden Young, who had his jumper completely and utterly ripped at quarter time. He was wearing the number 1. And it was unrecognisable, so Jaden Young now wearing 57 for Labrador in defence. The throw in. Goldsmith gets it down. There's Wade Mills, the old stager. Handball over the top there to Walker. Walker tries to measure a pass. There's Retzlaff. Needs to get involved. He's the captain and he's a vital cog in this Labrador side.
And he's such a great connector for that type of play, but he's had to come all the way down to half back to be that connecting player. But just good to see him get his hands on it, as it is for this fella.
Needs to impose himself as well, but has had no service whatsoever so far, Barry Hall. The Hall of Famer is looking inboard.
So you got Hall and Retzlaff right up the ground now, so
nobody to kick to.
Consequently, they're going to have to chip it around going across the ground as they are, but not such a bad thing just to hold on to the footy for a little bit.
So it was Tom Thorson who kicked it in the direction of Retzlaff, who showed his physicality there. It was just all fair. It was just good body contact.
This is actually not too bad by the Tigers. I like the way they're just holding on to the ball, waiting for their forward line to get some structure, but intercept mark.
Well done to Liam McNevin, who read that. That was going straight to Barry Hall, and in front of the Palm Beach Currumbin marquees, Barry Hall cops another earful.
This is good. McNevin, terrific intercept mark, but the fact that he's able to spot up a teammate, they've come in now to Derek, terrific play, not blazing away outside, coming out of their back 50, just spotting up targets, using the ball really sensibly.
And there's a beautifully weighted kick to find Stephen Tyne on the outer wing. Loops a handball over the top. Now it's going to go back inside 50 from Circum. Big contest at the back there, Headland. And kick down the outer side. Goldsmith's going to take this mark. He's 60 metres from Palm Beach goal at right half back. But this is where they've been stuck. It's like almost the Bermuda Triangle of the ground for Labrador at the minute.
Well, that's a little corner out there they just can't escape from. Pricey, you're spot on there, mate.
The ball holds up. Big fly. Umpire said there was a shepherding incident in that contest. It'll go to Bryce Retzlaff. So the skipper will have a free kick on the outer wing. Wants to bring it back inboard and finds Young. Will he bring it across half back? Dangerous kick. Dangerous kick. They're okay, and that's a 50-metre penalty against Portelli. And it'll go to John McCanch. Well, it was a dangerous kick and it just dropped right into McCanch's hands.
Yeah, it's good grab. John McCanch is ex-basketballer from Townsville, actually, Pricey, back in the day. Suns Academy boy from that neck of the woods. But very nice, very good overhead for his size. And he was just sweating on that one, waiting to pick it off. It's the hardest switch of play. That Tigers kick from Labrador coming across the ground into the breeze to try and change direction, really risky.
So here comes John McCanch. Puts another one through for Palm Beach Currumbin. Inflicting a little bit more pain on the Labrador Tigers. 6-8-44 to 3 behind. And we've played approximately 13 and a half minutes of the second quarter. And I've said it before, Stas, I just can't see how Labrador are bringing this back.
No, very, very hard yards now. They need to pinch a couple up into the breeze before half-time just to get back into the contest. As you pointed out there, Michael, we can't see how the hell they're going to do that because all their movement forward has been very stagnated, relying too much on their tools to take a big grab, not enough run and carry up into the breeze, lots of things in their style of play that are not suiting the conditions today. Palm Beach Currumbin playing perfectly for the conditions, running it at ground level, making the most of their possession, spotting up shorter targets. So much better game style by the Lions today.
I suppose they are playing to their strengths too, their speed, their skill, their ground level
Yeah,
skills.
it's what you've got in your team, I guess, isn't it? If you've got a lot of ball carriers and smaller players, it suits you to run the footy, and they're doing it much better than the Tigers.
Well, up until that point, Thorson chipped it forward, turnover, Burge for Palm Beach Currumbin. It's going to end up back with Thorson in the middle of the ground. Can he control it? He does. He's tackled beautifully there by Douglas. Ball spills. Labrador with another chance. Brain. He's scragged off it by his opposite number 13 in Ritchie. Back into the middle of the field. Big contest there. Fisted forward for Labrador, but rescued by Circum. He kicks it long. It's going to bounce awkwardly for Daniel. Labrador still should have it. It's Young. Sweeping handball across there finds Portelli. He has to be measured. He is. He finds Ben Walker. Got to keep it in hand, and that's just popped up there to a contest on the outer wing. Teammate was advantaged with the kick, so Labrador get away. Buderick is confronted and tackled. A ripping chase and tackle there. Well done, Brad McDonald. And that's a grand final tackle.
Yeah, that's barometer for the team, isn't it? That's the way they're playing at the moment, just sweating on the opposition. Poor old Connor Buderick, I mean, he'll learn. He's a great young player, but he'll learn from that experience just to be a little bit quicker with his disposal.
Might have also needed a voice in there too, Stars. Could have told him he was hot.
Yeah, they've hung their teammates out to dry a couple of times today, we've noticed, where there could have been a bit more instruction.
That's a good floating mark.
It's a good grab.
Well done, Jake Goldsmith. Needs to move it along.
It's good, the big fella getting back there in defence to help out and intercept. So well done to Goldsmith.
He's going to have to keep an eye on it. Kicks it out in the Wade Mills direction. Gets a free kick, mark, whatever you want to call it. With that awkward kicking style, effective though. Gets it to Connor Buderick. Now they're in the middle of the ground, Labrador. Got a couple of numbers out here on the commentary side. Bounces awkwardly for Thorson. He's tackled. He's actually double teamed. The ball's held to him. He had no hope in the world. The umpire's going to say, who cares? Holding the ball.
Yeah, it's a hard one. I mean,
it's tough.
You've probably got to throw your arms around a little bit, make it look as if you're trying to dispose of it, but that's always a hard one. But again, that switch of play into the breeze across to our side of the ground here, Pricey, is really dangerous. It's just it's not getting to targets the way the Tigers want it to.
Well, McBurney just kicked a beautiful pass to Anthony Circum. Now he's taken the mark. He's 55 out. He's on more than a 45-degree angle.
I'm happy with Circum's attitude this quarter. He's come back and been really good without the hot-headed stuff, Pricey.
Might have just had a little word at the quarter time.
Yeah, I reckon Chad Owens would have said something to him about owing his team and getting his head back in the game and making sure you're nice and disciplined.
Left goal post.
He's been good. That's a great kick.
That's a beauty. Right to the line. Caleb Graham goes the mark, then gets tackled. The ball spills. Here's another go. Dignan! One behind. That was a ripping kick, but just held up in that breeze as it's coming back from left to right. 6-9-45. Keeping, I think they're just keeping Labrador in the game by missing a few.
15 shots to 3 is a fair old annihilation going forward, isn't it?
It's close to a shellacking already. Now here they come. Labrador, Jacob Kenny. Not directed that well. Nice tackle from Thorson though.
Not that good.
All right, a little bit too high. Or was it deemed a dangerous tackle?
Umpire called high.
Okay.
And
I thought it might have gone the other way there because he actually did raise the arm as he was trying to break the tackle. So look, 50-50 each way.
We've seen a few shots from here too, Pricey, today where they've missed to the far side, which sort of goes against where we think the wind's blowing. But anyway, it must be a little bit tricky out there.
I would start it between the point Left point post and left goal post. Time.
Like
not that far. not that far. Post out of bounds on the ball. So Stephen Tyne doesn't make them pay.
Yeah, that's both teams have fallen into the trap of thinking the Breeze is going to do most of the work for you, whereas most of the scoring, well, at that end, there's been only a couple of goals scored by Palm Beach Currumbin, and they've all been, within 30 metres of goal, so, or even closer. So really that hitting up targets is still important at the end, the wind's favouring.
So it was Jaden Young who got the ball to Wade Mills, who's still having some queries. It was taken off the ground and another throw in results on the outer side. So only 2 goals for to Palm Beach Currumbin in this quarter, but only 1 behind.
Yeah, that's 6 shots there. That's they really could have opened up a huge gap if it's not already a big enough task for the Tigers.
Now with the arsenal that Labrador do have is their forward power. Only the 3 scoring shots is quite frightening when you consider it. Callum McBurney waited under that ball for an eternity, took the mark. Just about every player on the ground in front of him. Kicks it inside 50. There he is, Wade Mills. Yeah. It's like a soccer team parking the bus in front of goal.
Yeah, he does, and he's probably the best in the comp at doing that too, Wade Mills. Just getting off his opponent, dropping into the spot where it's going to land and intercepting. So just got to get that method going forward, being patient, finding the one at the top of the 50 and then trying to bust a hole inside the opposition zone.
They're trying to just maintain possession at the moment. Labrador, they're doing well, reasonably well with it, but Palm Beach have got it set up nicely and they're going up against these targets. Well done there, good roving by McCanch, but it was over the boundary line and we'll get a throw in 55 metres from the Palm Beach goal. Right half forward, they're leading by 42 points here at Fankhauser Reserve at Southport. We've got about 31 degrees. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon. A bit of a swirly breeze that's favouring the right-hand side of screen, or your right of screen. It's a little bit of a lull. 21 minutes gone, second term. Hollis slaps it down. Picked up there by Dawson and he's tackled. Nice work there. So Labrador can get out of defence. They're at left half back. Got to get some movement going. Hicks. No, Featherston, sorry. Takes the mark there in front of McDonald. Chips it forward, Thorson. Needs to get moving.
At some point they've got to come inside the corridor. They can't, there they go.
Well, he tries something different, Thorson. Gets the ball into the middle. Finds Portelli, sweeps a handball across. They'll bang it forward, but there's no method in that madness. He gets tapped down there by Tyler Cornish. Well read by Stephen Tyne. He's tackled by Young. Now that's the effort that the umpire wants to see. Oh. Banging away with your right arm.
Should have been rewarded too.
I reckon.
Terrific tackle, and I reckon the Lions player was on the way out and
could have been.
Had a bit of time, but good intent, good signs.
Hollis gets it down there for Labrador, smothered off the boot of Jacob Dawson. They move forward though to Palm Beach. Derek went hard. Labrador have got the numbers here and they'll be able to come out to the commentary side.
Much better use.
Just put it in front of him, gave him a chance to run onto the ball. He cuts back in, does Adam Clark. Chips it forward, just hooking around the body. Inside 50, it's a 3-on-1. Palm Beach have got the numbers there and it's hacked out of defence. Clark goes for it again, over the back, onto the QAFL logo. It bounces nicely for Davidson. He hooks one back around into the corridor.
Good kick.
It was just a confident kick. He does have to go, Young, and move forward. Clark chips it forward. You've got to go hard, Featherston. He does. Takes the mark. And they've got to move it quickly. Brain's in the pocket by himself on the left. He saw him. Got to 50. Now Brain wants to get moving. Umpire calls him to play on. He puts it to a dangerous spot at the top of the square. It actually advantages the Palm Beach Currumbin defence, and a ripping mark taken by Dirk Conan. You did mention him before, Stas. They've got good sets of hands, these tall boys down back for Palm Beach.
Yes, judged it really well. The kick didn't help Retzlaff there, but
awful kick.
Conan was first to move and got to a good spot.
Featherston did beautifully. Got rid of his opponent, got the handball away, but it's intercepted by Burge. Kicks long down the outer wing, over the head of Mills. He ends up getting it back from Portelli. Now Mills goes even further back to Young. Misses the target. It advantages Palm Beach. This could be a disaster. Ends up with Circum. Kicks it forward. It was actually Ritchie. But not, rather than being a disaster, he kicked it down the throat of a Labrador defender. Now they're back. Hector. Over the top, into the middle. Now Retzlaff.
Got to turn and go.
Got to turn and go hard.
Well,
he
good
does.
Work. Good work.
A man on the lead, finds him.
Much better.
There's another man on the lead, Barry Hall, a one-on-one contest. Well done there. Good defensive work against one of the strongest men playing. McNevin it was. The ball spills. Retzlaff has a ping from 40, and much to the delight of the Palm Beach Currumbin crowd, kicks it out of bounds on the full.
So Retzlaff didn't score, Pricey, but the method going forward was a hell of a lot better. The mark and play and roll on quickly, much better build-up.
So it's going to come down to the commentary box side. Mills and Brain fly against Jesse Derrick at the back. And strong body work from Lachlan Ritchie. He bangs it forward. Young misses it. At the foot, you've got Circum. Puts himself in. That's a dead set throw that went back to Young. Umpire was blindsided. Couldn't see it. Great tackling effort by Hector. Could have won himself a free kick and has done.
Yeah, terrific job. They certainly haven't thrown in the towel, the half-back line at Labrador at the moment, Pricey. They're working hard to win the footy back.
They're getting dusted in the midfield, Stars, aren't they?
Big time.
As Labrador chip it forward. Over the head of Retzlaff. Did him no favours. Well roved. The young fella Mullins went through. Deserves a goal, the young man, and just misses. Still haven't registered their first major, but that's the fourth behind for Labrador. Good work from young Mullins. Probably deserved better. 44 points the margin now. Sorry, 41 points the margin. Labrador will get the ball from the Palm Beach turnover. Comes out to Jason Burge.
Starting to rack him up too, Burge. He's up to 12 possessions.
He's turned that one over.
Not his best.
Brain, nicely controlled with the left hand and the left foot in the end. Adam Clark chips it forward to Retzlaff. Now there's your captain. It's in our forward. He's going to turn and go.
Well done. Good job.
And hits Goldsmith. He's only 25 metres out, directly in front.
Just in the last little bit here, Retzlaff is he's sensing the moment a little bit, Pricey, that we've got to get a wriggle on here. So his leading up and being the connecting player coming off half forward's been terrific, but he's rolled on really quickly and spotted up a teammate further afield and got it on quick.
He's kicked 10 goals for the year and he's missed that one. Well, another miss that Labrador might well rue later on.
Gettable.
But I still think Palm Beach Currumbin still haven't put them completely away.
No, I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that totally, Pricey. All you need is a 3 or 4 goal quarter with the breeze in the third quarter and things are back on a relatively even footing. And the Lions haven't completely put them away.
McBurney it was. Big pack flew. Jesse Derrick overruns the ball. Well done by Clark, who's starting to get involved in the game heavy. That's a free kick to Wade Mills.
He's also been good, as we expect.
No, you wouldn't expect anything else from Wade Mills.
Grogan medalist.
And knows what this day is all about. As I say, won the Joe Grant medal for best of field last year in defence.
Good pick-up by the big fella.
Retzlaff, he is an athlete. He's actually done a little something there, left foot or left ankle. He's not looking that great, to be honest, after he disposed of that.
Yeah, knee or ankle, something going on there. Let's hope he's just impinged something or jarred something. It's not too bad. He wants to keep going. So hopefully he's okay. He's waved the trainer away.
There's Jake Didnan it was. Got the ball out wider. And there it is, half-time. Who'd have thought it's half-time in the grand final, and Labrador with the likes of Bryce Retzlaff and Barry Hall have not scored a goal. At half-time, 6-9-45 to the Palm Beach Currumbin Lions, and 5 behinds to Labrador. We'll be back with the second half of the QAFL 2017 Grand Final very soon.
John McCange 1, Brad McDonald 1, Tyler Cornish 1, Graham 1, and 2 goals to Thomas Tyne. Just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, no alcohol is allowed on the field at any time. Purchase your alcohol through the designated licensed areas. Gold Coast Suns will also be drawing their jersey raffle at half time, so for those of you that want to get a late entry in, make sure you head down to the southern end of the field.
You want me? Oh, sorry. Sorry. No, thanks, mate. They, only one team is going to win this, mate. Yeah. Oh, that. I've got to slip in a reference to. I could have done it there before it came. There we go. Yeah. They impressed the hell out of me too, 61 and 68. Yeah. Because like it's just little glimpses of things that you see. Oh, there you go. Ha! My dad just texted me and said Carlton should sign Caleb Brown. Caleb Brown. Anybody who can play, my father says Carlton should sign. Oh well, what is it? Roast pumpkin and artichoke? Artichokes 3 for $1 at Woolworths. Oh, that's a piece of art. No, it's not aesthetically pleasing, is it? It just doesn't work. I'm really disappointed in this mob. Well, they'll be kicking with whatever breeze there is next quarter. It's not that run. Zero runs. I tell you what, it looked a little bit like last night. Adelaide against Geelong. Adelaide just kept hitting targets. They were operating at 77%, and Geelong were operating at 50. And when was their hitting target? 30 minutes off, I was taking after them. Yeah. Had to be a few Paddy Dangerfield last night walking off the field. Just having 50,000 people call you an arsehole. Inside his car. So did Selwood. Selwood was injured and he busted a hump. So two good marks.
Whereas Brett's actually all right.
He's trying his guts out.
Thank you.
What's underneath, isn't it?
Oh, no. Mills had 12. Clark had 10. Rain 7. Yeah.
Forget the physical side of it, Labrador, and just go straight to the ball. G'day, champion. How you doing, mate?
Birds 15. Dickman 12. Woolies 10. Harrison the Ruckman.
Yeah.
Dickman 12.
Yeah, he's a pretend. I think they're going across the board, though. Across the board at ground level, though. Up. Infield, on top. He's deaf as a post. Much big crowd in there? Oh dear. Just want to see him come back to this, but I reckon he just haven't put him away completely. Yeah, a couple of twiggies and see what happens. Well, they'll be going with whatever breeze is left now. That way. Kid goes alright, doesn't he? Kid on the guitar goes alright. Plays for surface? Yeah. Paradise.
Renault?
Yeah, it's been playing on the stage.
Oh, in front.
Yeah.
Renault from Gifu. No, what was it now? Guru, not Gifu, Guru. Ticker Farm.
Premiership player. Tigers. He's a great kid.
Renault's a beauty.
Play. Play and sing. He's got a fallback. Cheers, mate. G'day, Jack. Oh, I can't complain so far. I got Darren Jackson.
Oh, hi, Dan. How are you, mate? Good, yeah.
Good to see. How the hell is this? What are they doing? They're coming away. They're running all over. Well, we're hoping they have. They're not running. No run. No, I thought they would have done that. But we were saying before the game with them, because the breeze is a bit swirly. It's going that way, but it's swirly. Once it gets to the big boards, if they don't plant them and it hits the deck, they're buckled. Because Palmy have got numbers to fall. And as soon as they get it, they're spreading like buckets.
That's not how Labrador.
I haven't seen how many did Dix have? I reckon he's going to play it all. 11, I think. Really? I must have been calling the wrong bloke. See? Yeah. He's copped a little bit.
7. Clark 10. Golf was 11. Kick 5.
5. Yeah, okay, yeah. I didn't think he had it. Oh, he was very good last year. But
What's on his first colours?
47.
He's at 11.
Yeah, he's had more chances down back.
47.
The blokes that are playing down back will have more touch.
Red Sox taking 5 marks. Red Sox.
Yeah.
Birch had 15, Cornish 10, Dickman 12, Harrison the Ruckman 11, McNevin down back 9, Woolley down back 10, Pine, one of the times has had
disposal, but is it a position?
He's got one kick and kick on goal.
He's a genius. He's just a genius. He can do anything. He can make a ball speak.
Graham's had 4 marks.
Yeah, and 4. What's to say at the start? He reminds me a bit of, got a touch of the Harris Andrews about him. I haven't seen him.
I think he's something academy.
I tell you what, if he's not, they should get on him.
I like Frederick.
Yeah, cheers, champion.
We
Yeah.
are.
Who would you have? Oh, well, there you go. No, it's not Nathan Buckley. We're not voting now. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, Wooly stood up early. I think it's if what's his name, that if Brad McDonald or Jared Douglas kick straight, they would have imposed themselves in the game. That's 6 goals, 9 and 2 out in the 4. So that's 17 scoring shots to 5. Reasonable people in the start. So give them 5 minutes of this term and see if they do anything, Jack. See you, pal. See you next time. Oh, shit. He's does a bit of work for
You have to do this now.
If I could do it now, I would. Gee whiz. It's got to, it'd be like, you can throw a blanket over 5 of them. I like Troutman. I like,
Been dropped out a little bit.
no problem. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're pleased by the last scores of our titles to leave the playing area of green in preparation
He did that. I just thought that would be better than a crack would be better than a
between Palm Beach, Currumbin and the Labrador Tigers. While we're at it, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our half-time entertainment.
But has he?
Renee LeBeau.
Dignam saying better than
I'd like to follow Renee further and do so by
Yeah, it would be nice.
Renee's
Great,
Renee's
Kanga. Great
Ladies
call
and
so
gents,
far,
we also
gents.
have
He's
a
in Banff.
presentation to make read over the Gold Coast Suns Guernsey, which is about to be drawn.
Put it up here.
Two representatives of the Suns here.
Because it's kept falling off here.
Scooby-Doo.
If you have to do it now,
The winner
for
of
me, I would have
the signed Gold Coast Suns
I would go
jersey is
Dignam.
Lewis Smith.
Yeah, number 5, Dignam would be right up there.
probably McNevin for me.
Number 22 down back.
Yeah.
That's probably even. I like Harrison too. Harrison's done well. He's feeding
Harrison,
them.
yeah.
He's feeding them.
Harrison. And I'd definitely have the young fella in the vote.
Callum Graham.
Yeah, definitely.
He's feeding.
And
Okay,
Wooly's could clear the space. Yeah, they got the. You played dad for good quality time, good couple of hours. That's it, mate. Just put in the. Right, get the brownie out of my way. Well, if the Lions are playing, the eldest will watch. Yeah. Little one's not quite there yet. What's Mr. Davis doing? Get himself ready.
Give that crew a mention.
And welcome back here to Southport Fankhauser Reserve. It is the home of the Southport Sharks today. It is the home of the 2017 QAFL Senior Grand Final between Palm Beach Currumbin and Labrador. And at half time, it is Palm Beach Currumbin, the Lions all over Labrador, 6-9-45 to 5 behinds. The Tigers yet to score a goal at half time. So 40 points the margin to the Lions after they led by 27 at quarter time. It's Michael Price calling all of your action with Collingwood Premiership player and current coach of the AFLW Brisbane Lions, Craig Starcevich. And Stars, they've been all over him.
Yeah, they have. They've been terrific, and this is a huge quarter coming up for Labrador to get themselves back into the contest. There's a lot of people at the half-time break were quite amazed that this has happened 2 games in a row to the previously undefeated Tigers, but this is a massive quarter coming up. They've got the assistance of what we think is about a 2-goal breeze. Might have dropped off a little bit now in the second half, but they've still got the ascendancy going towards the right of screen.
So it was Jed Harrison versus Andy Hollis in the ruck for Labrador. The ball gets stuck underneath there, and on some more feeling being displayed as Jason Burge reaches in.
We've got Harrison back in the ruck there. He's one of the better players on the ground in the first half, number 23 for Palm Beach Currumbin. Ground level, he's got Dignan that's been great as well, and Burge has racked up 15 disposals. Here he is now.
Well, tackled, breaks that tackle, then gets thrown after he got rid of the ball. Umpire adjudicated that it was an incorrect disposal. So the quarter starts the way Labrador would have liked it. They've got the ball in hand. Todd Featherston with it now. Long kick inside 50, ill-directed, and went straight down the throat basically of McNevin. Umpire's called a whistle, and it will be a free kick that'll go to Jake Goldsmith, so they can get their first goal on the board here. He'll have to kick it from 50.
So Goldsmith has started forward, Pricey, at this centre bounce, and straight away putting the pressure on the Palm Beach Currumbin defence down there. He's probably going to have Dirk Conan as his matchup, only a young fella, 17-year-old, but Goldsmith here, chance to kick the first one for the Tigers.
Here he goes, that's dead straight. Goal umpire does not move, and that's got them up and about at the start of the third term. Labrador get their first goal. So it's 6-9, 45 to Palm Beach Currumbin to Labrador. 1-5-11, back to 34 points.
That's a great start. So now they've got the 3 talls down there, which is potentially going to stretch the opposition defence, given that Palm Beach Currumbin don't have a stack of tall defenders down there. However, most of their damage, as we commented on in the first half, Pricey, has been the way they've been able to run the ball out of their defence. So now it's all or nothing from Aaron Shattuck's point of view. Load them up with talls and see if we can start hitting the scoreboard.
It's hacked out of the centre there for Palm Beach. It was Tom Tyne who couldn't quite control it. Now it ends up with Daniel. Handball forward. Walker, Sam Walker, chipping pass. Doesn't quite hit the target. Well done by Butterick to at least get down the ground level and get the ball up. Turns it over though. Jason Burge chips it forward to Dignan, having a fine game so far. Handballs now to Tyne. Tyne inside 50, and it's a downfield free kick, and he gives him some too. Tom Tyne gets right up into the face of the big man and says, "Thanks very much for the relayed free kick, champion. We'll have a shot at goal."
Pretty handy because it's in the hands of the young fella Caleb Graham down there too. Pricey, who we've noticed has had a terrific first half, taken 4 marks and had 8 possessions, but the quality of those possessions has been the thing that stood out most for us. And he was the one on the lead there for the downfield free kick.
Already kicked a goal, looking to get his second of the day, comes in from 40. Goal umpire has to do a lot of work to the left, so it's only a behind. So 6-10. Palm Beach Currumbin spraying them around to 1-5-11.
He's had his 4 shots at goal as a young fella, 1 goal 3 this afternoon for Caleb Graham.
He's run too far. And that's a critical error coming out of defence. The big fella in Jaden Young, who's changed jumpers from number 1 to 57 when it got torn off in that melee. Just coming out of defence, and he ran too far. Free kick to Brad McDonald. So we're right behind it here.
That's harsh. Good pressure by McDonald to not give up on the chase, but you've seen players get away with less, Pricey.
He lets go from 50, it starts left, it stays that way. 1 behind results. 6 goals, 11 to Palm Beach Currumbin.
1 goal 4 to Brad McDonald.
Well, now there is something you wouldn't want on your CV if you're a noted goal kicker. Now, it's all starting to crumble a little bit. The fullback's gone over the goal line in the goal square. It was actually Tom Davidson. He was an All-Australian in the under-15 ranks. He's as tough as nails, but he went over the line there, so it would be a ball up at the top of the square, gifting Palm Beach another opportunity.
So this is where Palm Beach are dangerous here, Pricey. Someone on the move at ground level. Looked like it was going to be time then, but the ball didn't get to him. So they've been really, really dangerous around those forward stoppages with getting people moving through the contest.
He called that well. Because Caleb, what a monster kick that is. That's gone 65, 78, close to 80 metres. I'm just adding it up.
Dylan Troutman's done a terrific job to hang on to it.
Well done there. And Dignan again, Jake Dignan, having a ripping game. All but 4 players on the ground in front of him. Gets around the man on the mark in Matt Daniel. Gets a free kick on the way through. Kicks it inside 50 and doing what he does best, Wade Mills, doubles back. No thought of self-preservation there, Starts.
Clearly Labrador's best player today. Just he's up to now his 13th or 14th possession, 5 or 6 intercept marks. He's had a stock standard Wade Mills afternoon, just saving the day, intercepting there across in the back 50.
Ball ends up now with Sam Walker. Belted as he kicks it long. That's good body work there. Retzlaff got rid of his opponent.
Rolls on, which is great.
Played on, long bomb, Goldsmith at the back. Handball to Barry Hall in the goal square. Have they mucked it up? No. Yes, they have. No, they haven't. Barry Hall makes it look good. Gee whiz. Some hard work there to get your second goal. But Goldsmith did the right thing. He took the mark, wanted to get the big man into the game, and it's on in the goal square again.
Goal for the quarter, number 26, Barry Hall.
So it's 6-12. 48 to Palmy to 2-5-17 to Labrador. 2 goals in the quarter there, only 2 of the game so far.
All right, so messy in the goal square at the back end, but previous to that, Pricey, everything was pretty good. The connecting mark up on the wing by Retzlaff, roll on quickly, get it in deep to your key forward, and Goldsmith down there has been a ripping move by Aaron Shattuck. So straight away they're looking more dangerous in their forward 50. Goldsmith's taken a couple of ripping contested marks. The play on, questionable, but Big Baz has tidied it up and it's finished off okay.
And 3 behinds to start the quarter for Palm Beach Currumbin as well. So 6 goals, 12. Will that come back to haunt them? It's 31 points at the moment. It's only 5 goals when we consider it. Beautiful tap down there by Harris. It comes out Dawson. Kicks it forward. Jesse Derrick's in there. Goldsmith, Hollis, is in there, and a ball up.
Just going back to that last passage of play, Wade Mills was the one that intercepted right down the back half. So really, we still need some work at ground level from the Tigers. They're really struggling at ground level today, and it's really a tall defender and 3 tall forwards doing all the damage for Labrador.
Well, as the ball goes inside 50 for Palm Beach Currumbin, it was ill-directed, hacked out of defence for Labrador. Ball bounces awkwardly for, it was Thorson. Well done there by Richie. Ball over the boundary line, and we'll get a throw in right in front of the commentary box here. at Fankhauser Reserve, 31 degrees. Beautiful southeast Queensland day. And regardless of the result, the Cup stays on the Gold Coast for the third year. Labrador have won the last couple, and they defeated Palm Beach Currumbin last year at Yeronga. Well tapped down there by Hollis. He goes back, gets involved, kicks it long. In the Retzlaff direction, that great defensive mark by Liam McNevin. Just stuck the one mid out and juggled it. Beautiful work.
We had him as one of the best on the ground in the first half, Liam McNevin, Pricey. He's had a terrific game, great contested mark.
And he just tried to take the game on there and deliver it, but under pressure as he kicked it. The mark taken by Damien Hector for Labrador.
He's got to do that though, McNevin. He's got to make Retzlaff chase him on the way out, make him work on the way out, make their tall forwards defend on the way out.
Featherston to Retzlaff. Really getting involved now. It's a long kick. It's going to go past Barry Hall at the back of the pack. Goldsmith hands one off to the bustling one. And another goal for the Tigers. Goldsmith to the forward line. An inspired move by Aaron Shattuck.
Terrific. It's you love that in the coach's box when things like that work out, and I know Shasta will be very happy at the moment with that little move. Hollis is playing a really good role in the ruck, just breaking even, making sure that they've got some presence around the stoppages through the middle of the ground to allow Goldsmith to go forward and now take his third mark inside the forward 50, which we know are gold, taking marks inside your forward 50, and if they're contested marks, God, they're worth 5 points in your dream team, aren't they?
They'd have to be.
They're right up there, I know that.
25 points the margin now, Starson. This is what I was worried about with the errant kicking of Palm Beach Currumbin. They've had their foot on the Labrador's throat for the entire game, but just let them in with bad kicking at goal. As Labrador go into attack again, it's at half forward. Portelli overruns it. Well done, McNevin got involved but turned it over. Still inside 50. Great tackling effort there. Could have been rewarded for Hicks. Nothing doing. Digdon now through Palm Beach. Across half-back. Well done to McNevin. McNevin tries to fire a handball there to McCanch. He gets it. Gets away from an opponent. And that's a beautiful shepherd by Jared Douglas. Brutal shepherd. Well done there from Daniel. Got the ball back involved. The game stepped up now, Stars. It is game on in a grand final as PBC go forward. Well done to Cornish. He's dispossessed. Gets the ball back. Handball to Derrick. Around the corner inside 50. A floating sack. At the back. Headland got rid of Wade Mills. He did it legally. Takes the mark. 40 metres out.
There's been a few of those today, Pricey, there with the ball, the high ball that goes inside the forward 50, where it's just who can out jostle their opponent the best and judge it the best. It was Ben Headland there was just, you know, Wade Mills is super in the air normally, but just to nudge him just slightly under the footy and take a contested chest mark, it's very much a judgment thing when a floating high ball like that comes inside your forward 50.
So here he is, Ben Headland. Knows this ground very well, as I say. Over 100 NEFL games with Southport. Comes in. From 45, starts it right. It comes back. And in the goal square. It's been plucked by McDonald, is it?
Just dropped short, didn't it?
It dropped short. It held up against that breeze. And McDonald took the mark. He's got 1 goal 4. Surely must knock this in from the top of the goal square. And does so. Their first goal of the term. They've kicked 3 behind.
It's
back to a 31-point margin. 7-12, 54, plays 3-5, 23.
Just smart play. Inside your forward 50, if you're going into the breeze, never take your eye off the footy because anything can happen. The ball can drop short. And that's exactly what McDonald did then. Just judged it beautifully, floated across the front of the pack. And took that nice mark at the front of the pack. So really good smart play. You just never know what's going to happen and what little opportunity might present if you just keep your wits about you and watch it really closely as it falls in, as it travels through the air.
So 3 goals to 1 in this third term. Labrador will be looking to step that back up. Ball in the middle. Hollis versus Harrison. Harrison gets that one down. It's stuck underneath several. Tyne goes in, tackle without the ball. Umpire says no, play on. Well done. Gets out to Burge from Harrison. Burge inside 50 at the back. Well read. Oh, but dropping the mark was Daniel. Palm Beach with another opportunity. Jesse Derrick's going to have a ping. He'll get around his opponent. Oh, he scragged as he got rid of the ball to Headland. Headland tackled. They still got rid of the ball. Picked up by McCanch. Across half forward. Here's a go. Chipping pass in the direction of Circum. Takes the mark in front of Jacob Kenny, and it was just a lowering of the eyes. Beautiful chip pass in front of a big man with good hands.
Yeah, it was. The lead up though, gee, they had some time. The umpires had given them plenty of time to dispose of the footy with some enormous pressure at ground level there by the Tigers' defence. So probably very, very lucky that it's panned out the way it has.
So it could make things very, very difficult for Labrador coming back.
Got a blood rule here, Pricey. Just see who's coming off. Number 25 for Palm Beach Currumbin's Jacob Dawson. He's got a nice little cut above his left eyebrow.
So here's Anthony Circum. He's a good set shot. Kicked 4 goals twice this year against Mount Gravatt and Wilston Grange. Comes in from 35, leans back and puts it across the face. One behind, you give him a rap stars, that's what happens.
Yeah, just didn't stay over the footy enough, kicking it into the breeze, which is just fell off the technique there just slightly.
So 32 points the margin in favour of of Palm Beach. 14 and a half gone. That's a monster kick. It's gone almost into the centre of the ground. 2 kicks and we're inside 50. Old school footy. Brain. He goes hard for the ball. He's got 2 opponents. They did well, Palm Beach Currumbin, to get that ball out of defence. Good body work in tandem, McCanch. And getting a little bit frustrated there, it was Featherston. It was McCanch and Troutman in tandem.
We were sort of critical of Labrador early in the game about blazing away, going inside their forward 50. However, the dynamic down there is a little bit different now with the 3 tools, Pricey.
Might as well get it in when you can, I suppose, as Stephen Tyne tackled by his opposite number in Featherston. Taken by Daniel, he's tackled, loses the ball. Now it's with Hector, handball forward. And putting himself in there was Tom Tyne. Well done there to Douglas, who propelled it forward. Goes in second time, gets the ball out. Gets it to Harrison, who scrubs it forward to half forward. There you go. Nicely scooped up. And good tackling. That's a big tackle on Circum. He was the one who laid that. It was Clark. And it will be incorrect disposal. He did throw that one up. It did bobble. And a one-handed handball.
It's a good tackle.
So Adam Clark.
Need a lot more from Clark and players of his ilk.
And they need to get some run-on starts. We haven't seen much all day.
No, not enough from their midfield group, not enough from their runners.
Retzlaff, big target, good grab. Takes it, wheels around onto the right shoe, kicks it away from Hall. It's going in the direction of Mills, who floated down. Hall imposes himself, gives it to Brain, tackled without the agate. He looks at the umpire with pleading eyes. Nothing happening. Ball stuck underneath, and there'll be a ball up at 45. And Barry Hall has just knocked a player over behind play. And I noticed nobody's actually rushing up to push Barry Hall too hard on that one. But it was a foolish free kick for a man of his experience. There was going to be a ball up 45 metres from goal, and the free kick will go to Palm Beach Currumbin. And a 50. And a 50 as well. So there you go. 14th on the AFL all-time goal kickers list. Member of the AFL Hall of Fame. Still did something silly.
Yeah, can't comment on that one. That was just crazy.
Just silly.
Crazy. The ball's inside your forward 50 and you're chasing the game and you give away a free kick like that.
As Palm Beach now going to attack with Troutman. Oh, big leap. Good grab taken by McDonald. If he had a kick straight, he'd had a mighty, mighty game. He's already kicked a couple, 2-4. He gives it inside to John McCanch. And just when you thought Labrador were really changing the game around with that great move of Goldsmith in there, a couple of little things have happened. It's fallen back off. The catch, it's a long kick, holds up in the breeze. Have a look at that. Wade Mills will take it down and put it over the boundary line for a throw in right next to the behind post.
Yeah, momentum swung back now, hasn't it? Looks like Palm Beach Currumbin has steadied the ship a little bit, Pricey, and just got it back a little bit on their terms. Just kicked the one goal up into the breeze, but that one goal could be vital come the end of the game.
Oh, Jesse Derrick, off hands, left foot, and a goal! Oh, that's like a knife to the heart for Labrador. Jesse Derrick, a controversial week for the Palm Beach Currumbin captain. Originally suspended, then not, then suspended, and then not, and playing in a grand final, kicking a goal.
I was just looking at the way he got free though, Pricey, at the back of that stoppage. And we've sort of said it all day, just the lack of desperation by the Tigers defenders at ground level to get after opponents. We commented on exactly that in the first quarter, that how loose they were, the lack of urgency, getting after people they think are not in dangerous positions. But guess what? Anyone inside your forward 50 is dangerous. If there's a stoppage in that part of the ground, you've got to cover off on all of them. And Jesse Derrick had a world of space there to work in and snap on his left foot.
And it's back into the middle of the ground. Hollis propelled it forward. It's picked up there. Well put forward by Gleeson to the goal square. Goldsmith did beautifully to actually control it down with one hand, but it was rushed through. And one behind results. So 61 plays 24. As Palm Beach bring the ball back in. Free kick will end up with Conan. He's got McNevin. Actually 3 men all over the place, more or less. He's going to go long to the outer side, and a big lead from Woolley. Oh, he's got a habit of doing that, Josh Woolley. What an X factor he is, and what a great grab in a grand final. Kicks it long down the outer side. Picked up by Cornish. He did beautifully to control that, and then undid all that by kicking it into the third row, so to speak. Josh Woolley, gee whiz. He's taken mark of the year this year and mark of the day today.
That's a great grab, and it's just so balanced in the air when he got up. Just a terrific grab.
Landed like a cat as well. Here come Labrador though. Clark chips it in the Retzlaff direction. That was in his advantage. Chipped it forward. The big fella takes it.
Eight marks for Bryce Retzlaff today.
Go back and have the Dennis Lilly run up and have a ping at it, Sunshine. He's got the distance and he's got the breeze at his back. The Tigers need something. Something inspiring. Can the skipper deliver it? Play 20 minutes of the third term. From 60 metres, Retzlaff lets go. He lets go. And boy, does he let go. Now, if that doesn't motivate you, Labrador, nothing will. 8-13-61 to 4-6-30. Back to 31 points, Stars.
Good grab. They'd be in all sorts without the captain's game today. He's been terrific. Another contested mark. He's taken 8 for the day so far. 8 marks overall. I'd reckon 5 or 6 would be contested today, Pricey, which is all you can ask of your lead up half forward. But to go back and kick from 60, and absolutely straight as a die too, wasn't it? Yeah. Straight over the goal umpire, barely moved through its flight. So
absolutely flushed it.
Inspiring goal, but they probably need 1 or 2 more before the three-quarter time break.
63 goals for the year to Bryce Retzlaff, not bad. Oh, it's too easy out of the middle there for Dawson. Kicks it inside 50. Mills reads it best and hacks it out of midair. Best he could do it. And then follows up, does Wade Mills. Half volley. Brilliant defence from the Labrador player. Kicks it towards half forward. Now Retzlaff has gone down. That foot injury again. There's something wrong there, Stars. As it is a Heron who breaks away and has a few bounces. Gets away. Kicks it inside 50. Great mark from Young. He read that beautifully. Just we'll keep an eye on Retzlaff, who's still hobbling. And Young's gone down with a spot of cramp, and the Palmy fans don't like that much.
Retzlaff, he's up and going again. That run by Jacob Heron there out of defence for the Lions, Pricey, is exactly everything the Tigers don't have. That run and carry and rebound from half back. We've not seen 1 ounce of that from Labrador today. And there's been numerous Palm Beach Currumbin players willing to play that style of footy, and here and there that's indicative of the way they've played today, and it's been really successful for them.
And here's Retzlaff, he's hobbling after it, but he did beautifully to pick it up and go around in the middle of the ground. Jesse Derrick, great body work, got rid of his opponent in Hector, takes the mark, goes back to the outer side. Good defensive work from Jackson, brings it to ground and follows up with another tackle. Palmy still have the ball. It's going to go back inside 50. Here it goes, he's young. He's done well after suffering from cramp just a little while ago. It's a dangerous kick. The spoiling effort's going to make it even more dangerous. Fumble from Walker. Chance for Palmy again. Young picks it up, tackled, loses it. It's hooked around the corner and saved again. Umpire says it didn't go the full distance, so it wasn't a mark there to Featherston. He's tackled over the goal line, and it will be another behind the Palm Beach Currumbin. So 8 goals, 14, 62, plays 4-6-30. Still only 5 goal starts if they can ping another one here, but it's not going to happen. Dignan, he's got to be in your top players. No, he actually gave that one away. It's going to end up with Jackson. So Jackson's got Retzlaff on the lead. Kicks it in his direction. Taken down by McNevin. Could have been a free kick for high contact. Nothing doing. McNevin did beautifully. Backed up and then hit Dignan, who's growing in stature. Just forward of centre wing. Gets it to half forward. Oh, there's just playing with him now. Woolley, he'll kick this from 50. Josh Woolley, the left foot to the goal line. No. Well, I put him off, Stas. I thought he'd just kick that from anywhere.
No, great kick off the boot. And he's got a terrific technique, Josh Woolley, but just faded a bit at the last minute.
So 8 goals, 15. Big kick, goes over the head of Tyne. It was a nice flying effort from Billy Hicks. Haven't called him very much at all. Get a little bit of a lesson in the midfield today of Labrador. Brain did well through traffic, got the handball away to Butterick. He's got Hicks now. Now what can Billy do? He kicks it inside 50. Over the head of Barry Hall on the lead. That was a mongrel of a kick.
That's butchering your opportunities. That's what that is.
That is not a great kick from Billy Hicks, and it ends up now with Stephen Tyne, the vice-captain of Palm Beach Currumbin's had a fine game. Hits the Grogan medalist in Burge. Wheels around. Comes off the side a bit. And that's a dead set push out by Ben Headland, and if he keeps going it'll be 50. So he stops. Free kick to Nick Jackson.
Probably didn't play that well, did he, Benny Headland, on that occasion? Just probably just need a little nudge under the footy, not give away the free kick.
It was a hefty nudge, wasn't it? It's coming back inside 50 here, and that's a very well weighted kick. It's got to be close to a free kick regardless. It'll go to Tom Tyne. No, it won't, sorry. It'll go against Tom Tyne. It'll go to Corey Mullins. So Corey Mullins.
It's nearly the hardest spot on the ground to shoot from, isn't it? We've seen that in the first half, Pricey.
Kick it in the big ones. That's all we can advise.
You've got what, Breeze over your right shoulder here?
Yeah. Maybe the left goal post and it might swing. It's a nice looking kick to the top of the square, at the back of the pack, Toad, and one behind results.
I reckon it almost fell in Barry's lap then, and he just didn't quite hang on to it.
4 goals, 7-31. So we're back to 32 points to the margin. Palm Beach Currumbin with the ascendancy here. Played almost 26 minutes of the third term. Now Harrison, Jed Harrison. Got a big engine for a big boy. Oh, that's the free kick. He's taken the game on. He was trying to do the right thing. Was Dylan Troutman, and tackled and chased. Zach Brain gets involved again. He loves to get involved. And here's the skipper again. He's doing it all. Chase down tackling, contested marking, goals from 60. He's trying to get him home off his own back, is Bryce Retzlaff.
Needs to be careful, Todd Weatherstone there, just behind the player on the mark. Your captain's about to have a shot for goal. Do not give the footy away.
He just about did too. That was high contact too. As Bryce Retzlaff, let's go. He's given that every opportunity. What a ripper. That's 2 rippers in a row from Bryce Retzlaff.
That's a great kick.
26 points the margin, Stars. Just over 4 goals, and that's about where Labrador would have hoped they'd been. Towards the end of the third quarter. A free kick against the runner here. It's a free kick against the runner. I couldn't see why, but it'll go from the start. And so Palm Beach Currumbin will receive the free kick. The Labrador runner has infringed coming back in. I think he was inside the centre square cutting across.
And that would drive Aaron Shattuck crazy. It's hard enough when your players are in the heat of battle. You don't need your runner giving away undisciplined free kicks.
And pretty ordinary too as it goes back inside 50 for Palm Beach Currumbin. Labrador would love to stop this foray forward. Derek gets it back outside, he kicked inside 50, bounces towards the big unit in Jared Douglas. He gets around, chips at the Burge, can't control it. Davidson was tackled, he let go of the ball. Palm Beach with another shot. Was that Tom Tyne? It wasn't, it was actually Ben Headland. Just snapped it out of traffic. And something else has gone on here. It's a second free kick. What is going on here, Stars?
I think he's calling free kick out of the middle of the ground, or is he calling it?
He's calling it right
here?
there, right now.
Right, so
it's a goal plus a second ping at it, and I wasn't quite aware of why.
Something happened in the scuffle afterwards. Anyway,
it's been kicked forward, and they were going for the short pass and punched through. So a 7-point play.
Yep.
So that's 9 goals, 16, 70 to 4-7, 31. Every time it was like the game last night between Adelaide and Geelong. Every time Geelong looked like they were going to get closer than 5 goals, Adelaide put the foot down. And the same's happening here with Palm Beach Currumbin. Burge, left foot. It's a floater. It's a spiralling mongrel, but it's going to bounce awkwardly. Nicely picked up by Kenny. Mills back to Kenny under enormous pressure. Ends up with Walker, tackled, loses the pill. Douglas involved. Butterick, what can he do? He
well
cleans
done.
up, and
Really
they're
good.
out here. They've got a shot. It's Clark. He's had a bounce. He chips it into the middle of the ground, finds Featherston. Featherston now needs to get a wriggle on, moves it, kicks it inside 50. At the back of the pack, Goldsmith can't quite complete the mark. Well done, Caleb Graham. The big unit just lopes after it, keeps the ball in, handballs forward. A good tackle by Thorson, dragged Ritchie over the line and keeps the ball. Inside forward 50 for Labrador. Over the boundary line, we'll get another throw in. 5-7-37 it is. I said 4-7-31 before to Labrador, so we're still 33 points. Graham ended up with the ball, kicks it towards the pack, and Mills did well. Was actually held as he punched it forward. Trying to burrow his way through with Sirkin. Nothing happening. Tyler Cornish is in there as well. Ball comes out, and it was Kenny who actually held on a little bit too long to Cornish. Solid boy for a young boy. Kicks it forward. Ben Headland. That's one for the crowd, just juggling it with the one net right on the boundary line in front of the interchange gates.
probably not a bad thing here for the Lions just to hold on to the footy for a little while here and just keep starve Labrador of opportunities to go forward. Good grab there by Hollis.
Well done, nicely protected by Wade Mills, and that's the three-quarter time. An exciting quarter that was. Palm Beach Currumbin 9-16-70 to Labrador 5-7-37. So it's a 33-point margin to the Lions after they led by 40 at half-time and 27 at quarter-time. We'll be back with what we hope will be an exciting final quarter very shortly here at the 2017 QAFL Grand Final.
Over Labrador 5-7-37. Goal kickers thus far for Palm Beach. Jesse Derrick has one. Tyler Cornish has one. Benjamin Headland has one. Caleb Graham has one. And multiple goal kickers, Thomas Tyne with two. And Brad McDonald also with two. For Labrador, Jake Goldsmith one. And the multiple goal kickers, Barry Hall with two. Bryce Reslake also with two.
Yeah. Rough. Nah. Did he hit him, dude? I know he's face or chest or did he get reported? That's all I know. I saw him
Dignan. Yeah, I'm there. Because I think he's controlled it all. He's linked up beautifully. Yeah. Headland's 14 possessions, 2 goals. Yeah. Woolley 12, Hine 12, McNevin 13, Dignan third. Retzlaff. Actually, great idea. That's a great call, Dean. That's a really good call. No, what? That's it. We predicted that early. All right, mate. Have one for me, will you? Oh, hey Howie, up here. So, yeah, Barry Hall's got reported.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we please ask that all spectators leave the playing arena in a timely fashion?
Publicity.
We can start
Coming
our
out,
final
Fox Footy will
order.
be all over that. And they'll want the vision, they'll want everything. Fox Footy will want that. Yeah. They don't muck around. Now this will be the who does the media for the QAFL? Is that Joe or Helen? Who's the media got person? Who's the QAFL media person? QAFL media person? Is that you? Lisa. If I was her, I know it's the Mick Jagger Rolling Stones philosophy of any publicity is good publicity. Barry Hall's just got reported. Okay, and I would get that vision to Foxtel ASAP. No, I mean that's up to you guys, but the way Foxtel would run that in their half-hourly news all day. Barry Hall's been reported.
Oh, really? You very good punch in the face. How is it just saying that?
Like I said, whoever the media person is, it's not fair. This is the Rolling Stones philosophy.
Yeah.
You get that vision to Foxtel.
Yeah.
We'll run it every half hour.
Yeah.
Correct. All we do is get
Welcome back to Fankhauser Reserve, the home of the Southport Sharks, and today it is the venue for the 2017 QAFL Grand Final between Palm Beach Currumbin Lions and Labrador Tigers. At three-quarter time, it is Palm Beach Currumbin who lead Labrador 9-16-70 to 5-7-37. That's a 33-point lead after they led by 40 at half-time and 27 at quarter time. Michael Price calling all of your action with Craig Starcevich with the special comments. And Stars, can Labrador get back into this? It seems like a bridge too far at the moment.
I reckon the longer the day's gone, Pricey, the more the wind's dropped off. So if ever there's a chance in the last quarter here, Labrador will need to take it early. 33 points, not insurmountable, but you know, obviously right up against it going into this last quarter.
Well, they've got all the dangerous tall timber, but as soon as the ball hit the ground, at ground level, they're getting beaten up in the midfield a bit, Labrador, and especially inside forward 50. When the ball hits the deck, it's been taken out too easily by Palmy.
It has, although they started with 3 talls at the beginning of the third quarter. They're going with the same setup now at the beginning of the last. And in that quarter, Palm Beach Currumbin were able to kick 3-7 up into the breeze as opposed to Labrador's 5-2. So it is possible to score up to the left-hand end now.
Here comes Hollis for Labrador, kicks it towards half forward. Oh, Retzlaff controlled it with one mitt and then let it go. So technically could have been incorrect disposal. Here's Mullins, the young fella. What can he do? He bangs it through. Great start for Labrador.
That's exactly the start they needed, the Tigers, no doubt about that. Retzlaff really unlucky not to get a free kick. Hollis did really well at the centre clearance. Little Mullins did really well to hang on to that hand pass over the top and finish off.
So 27 points the margin now. That's a little bit more like it as far as a contest goes. Labrador needed that start. Another quick goal from them and we have got game on here. It will be a thrilling last quarter here in the QAFL Grand Final.
I think that's the thing against the Lions here. They'll be a little bit nervous knowing just how good Labrador can be if things start going their way.
Ball bounced in the middle. Caleb Graham, there's been a whistle on play. Somebody's infringed. And it will go against Palm Beach. So Labrador get the free kick. Hollis will have to take the free kick now. Gives it off to Featherston. Featherston kicks it inside 50, beautifully read. Soon as it hit the boot, Dylan Troutman read that and took the mark. Takes it to the outer side. Caleb Graham, an exciting young player, has taken some very good contested marks today. He puts it into the path there of Douglas, but of course Wade Mills gets in the way, as he would. Hollis, that's a high floating bomb to the outer side and staying underneath it. Caleb Graham, he didn't know what was behind him there. All he could, I suppose, think is that Bryce Retzlaff was right on his hammer. Takes the mark beautifully. McNevin now kicks it inside 50 over the head of Mills. It's roved by Mills. Well done to Thorson. Gets around an opponent. Loops a handball in the direction of Daniel. Can it bounce from him? It does. It's Jackson now. Jackson now into the middle of the ground. Oh, just misses the target in Hector. Burge makes it there first. Gives it back there to Troutman, who slips and goes back to Burge by hand. Gets it away as he tackled. Daniel will have to go, but he doesn't. Tom Tyne does go and gets the tackle from Young, and both of them were a little high, a little over exuberant. Tyler Cornish involved there trying to get the ball back to Tom Tyne.
He's pretty lucky there, Tom Tyne. He slipped as he took possession there and probably drew the high tackle there, Pricey.
So luck is a fortune. Tom Tyne takes his time. Kicks it to the top of the square. Great place to put it. Mills at the back. He's crashed into. The ball spills over the back of the pack. Walker. Can he control it? He does nicely. Cuts back in board. He's got Hollis and then goes longer to Retzlaff, but he gives it to a chance to McNevin. It bounces away from him. He can't control it, and Retzlaff actually trailed by a couple of metres. Made it look very good as far as a fumble over the boundary line goes.
He did. That's exactly what Bryce Retzlaff was thinking too, just trying to con the umpire into a deliberate free kick. Nothing happening though.
3 minutes into the final term, and it's the Lions leading by 27 points. Labrador coming in the final term. Here comes Clark down the outer side. It's a bit of a wobbler in the Retzlaff direction. It well gathered by the big man. Gets it back now. It's going to go inside 50 and out of bounds on the full under pressure. Just takes a little bit of the heat out of it. Palm Beach Currumbin have the free kick. It's a dangerous kick. Spoilt there by Hicks. Ball spills. Well done to Troutman. Goes back outside. Finds McNevin again. Another dangerous kick. Dignan, sorry. Gets inside 50. Gets the handball to Jesse Derrick. Now a long kick towards the outer side again. Wade Mills leads his opponent to the ball. He reads it off the shoe better than most people. Wade Mills takes it over the boundary line for another throw in.
At three-quarter time, Jake Dignan had 18 touches, I think, Pricey. Jason Berg 21. So they were the two leading possession winners on the ground, and we think Jake Dignan has been pretty effective today.
I would have thought his link-up work has been superb, Jake Dignan. Had a magnificent game. Hollis did well. Derrick who's grown as the game gets longer. It bounces inside 50. Well read by Young. Goes in way, then outways, and then back in ways again. Then kicks it long down the outer side, looking for Davidson. But again, it's Caleb Graham. He's got a good set of hands, this boy. Better than the kick, unfortunately. It goes across half forward. The ball's stuck underneath there. Great tackle. And there will be another ball up.
It's been pretty impressive, hasn't he? Young fella Graham. Really good hands, jumps at the contest really well and holds on to him, most importantly.
Doesn't mind a bit of physical work as well for a slightly built young man. As Dignan goes long inside 50, bounces over the back. Here's Tom Tyne to drill it. He does! That could be end of section there for Labrador. And Tom Tyne absolutely celebrates with a Drew Petrie double fist pump. He's done the Frank the Tank job. Well done. And if you're Todd Featherston right now, giving him an earful probably isn't going to be that effective.
That's his third, when he's got a heap of teammates around him
Hands it back through number 28,
that
Thomas
have
Tyne. He's third.
sprayed them. Brad McDonald's kicked 2 goals 4, Jared Douglas 3 points, Caleb Graham 1-3, Tom Tyne 3 straight. So very, very handy when you're hitting the scoreboard like that on grand final day.
Back to 33 points the margin. Just keeping them around about that margin. Every time Labrador try to march a little bit forward, Palm Beach answer.
Yeah, that's, dare we say it, a match-winning margin at the moment.
Ball bounces in front of Featherston. He's taken away by Cornish. Featherston toes it off the deck inside 50. McNevin roving it. Retzlaff. He's been probably him and Featherston. What a great tackle. That is a magnificent tackle from McCanch.
Burge, I reckon it was.
That was Burge, sorry. Take that back. My attention was taken just for the moment between a little stoush between Retzlaff and McNevin as they come down the outer side and the ball comes into the corridor. Sirkin, and that's Headland. Back to Dignan. Got the handball away even though he was under a lot of pressure. Wade Mills tackled. Ball spills. Now they've got the time. Jesse Derrick on the left foot. It's a floating mongrel one behind. 10-17. So 77 plays 43, so it's back to 34 points. Labrador bring it back in. Ritchie leaves it there, gives it to McCanch. McCanch comes back inside. That's a beautiful kick. Should have been taken there by Sirkin. It's roved there by Stephen Tyne. Gives it back to Tyler Cornish, who kicks it out of bounds on the full. Some tired bodies out there. The effort has been supreme. The running effort from Palm Beach has been supreme.
Yeah, you can just almost feel them starting to get right on top now, and it could really break open. I think Palm Beach Currumbin are looking like they've got some real leg power going now, Pricey.
Going for the ball was Hicks. Haven't sighted him much today at all. Burge, seen a lot of him. Kicks it inside 50, and once again Mills provides the contest for Labrador. Going in hard there too, Daniel. Ball spills. Daniel picks it back up, kicks it into the middle of the ground. Here's Josh Woolley. Oh, he was looking at the big run up and specky there. Ball hits the deck. It's kicked forward by Hector for Labrador. But it's all palmy here. The ball bounces for Dylan Troutman. He's got all the time in the world and finds a man at half forward. It's Tyne, chips it inside, and Josh Woolley has made his way from the wing down to the forward pocket to take that mark and put a big block of ice on this game for Palm Beach.
Yeah, and Woolley's run there inside the forward 50 is indicative of a team late in the game, Pricey, who know they're going to keep possession, and if I just keep running, I know I'll probably get an opportunity inside the forward 50. They're running optimistically now, knowing that they're probably going to reap the rewards. So big chance here that they're really going to bust this game open.
So here's Josh Woolley. Took a spectacular mark a little earlier on. And he puts it home, celebrates to the crowd. His teammates get around him. And Palm Beach Currumbin putting a big stamp on the 2017 Grand Final. They get their 11th goal, 11-17-83. Now 40 points in front of Labrador, 6-7-43.
Goal to Palm Beach Currumbin, number 11, Josh Woolley.
And they are celebrating in the Palm Beach Currumbin marquees over in the right forward pocket at the left-hand side. They're having a good old time there in the sun.
It's always good when you're playing half back and you can come all the way back up the ground, Pricey, and celebrate all the way, which Josh Woolley's done there. But yeah, to push forward knowing that you're going to drop into space and you've got teammates around you, they're playing with huge confidence right now and know that the opposition can't go with them.
It's the biggest margin of the game was 40 points. It is now as well as Labrador try to extricate the ball. Sam Walker, no, sorry. It's Tom Thorson, tackled high. Billy Hicks gathers the ball. He's tackled immediately, has had no freedom today. Ball spills out. Gleeson, he'll pick it up. He'll kick it inside 50, looking for Retzlaff.
Great
and
kick.
The captain takes a mark, and that was a great kick.
Terrific kick.
But Bryce Retzlaff, where would they have been without his contribution today, Star?
They'd be in all sorts. He's just taken his 10th mark for the day, Pricey, and lining up for goal number 3. But yeah, they'd be in all sorts without the captain's game today.
And he comes in. He'll let go from 40 and kick as straight as a die. Well done. He's trying to get his team up. He is an inspirational skipper, is Bryce Retzlaff. Gets
Entering goal to Labrador's
the Tigers
37,
7th.
Bryce Retzlaff is third.
83 plays 49, so we're back to 34 points the margin.
It's a great mark, but great centering ball there too by Labrador. The player out in the wing there was.
Short-term memory loss.
We don't remember, but terrific bit of play there to put the ball at the top of the goal square, 30 metres out, whatever you like, in a really dangerous spot.
And a player like Retzlaff, you've only got to give him half a sniff too, and he'll get onto it.
Yeah, just some elevation with the kick is all you need, isn't it, with guys like that. But yeah, terrific game by Retzlaff. He's kept Labrador close enough to compete.
And his partner in crime today, Barry Hall, the Hall of Famer, we can confirm now, has been reported at the end of that third term. He let one go, and I'm sure we'll be seeing that on some news services around the traps. The big bad bustling one doing, I suppose, what he does second best. First was footy. So Palm Beach now try to get rid of the ball. It's Clark who goes back in. Gives it to Featherston. He wants to go the 1-2 back to Clark. He's tackled immediately. Woolley had him and holding the ball. Right in front of the Palm Beach Currumbin supporters. And there's a little bit of extracurricular activity. Thorson was thrown to ground. But the Palmy fans absolutely loving that tackle by Josh Woolley.
Just had no room to move Clark all day, and that's indicative of their intent all day long. Josh Woolley's chase down tackle then, well done.
And Wade Mills again cuts it off, but the ball's spilled forward to Palm Beach, kick to half forward, nicely spoiled by Young. I reckon he's tried his hardest too. Jaden Young, he might not have a lot of possessions, but what he's done today is provided that contest up forward. He and Wade Mills have stopped this result being a lot bigger in favour of Palm Beach.
Yeah, particularly Mills, he's a star down there.
Oh, Mills has been their best player, no doubt, I'd say.
16 possessions and 6 marks. It's not a bad day out when your team's under the pump.
So another throw in. Left half forward for Palm Beach Currumbin. They've got this game in hand, 34 points the margin. Well picked up by Clark. He's tackled into the ground by Caleb Graham. Towed forward there by Cornish. And it'll bounce over the boundary line. Left forward pocket for another throw in. 13 and a half minutes gone to the final term. As they say, plenty of time enough if good enough. I just don't think they have been anywhere near good enough today, the Labrador Tigers.
They just haven't rattled on the goals, have they? I mean, that little period in the third quarter, but that was on the back of Retzlaff and Goldsmith doing some good work up forward, but you just haven't seen them really run and come through in waves and really look like overwhelming the opposition.
They'll come out of defence here now. Butterick gets it back to Retzlaff. He's been quite inspiring with the way he's gone about his business.
Yeah, a long way from home, and now they've got to run it up into the breeze.
Run it up into the breeze, and there's nobody to kick to inside forward 50. It's punched away from Goldsmith. Dinan again Gets the handball, puts his teammate under pressure this time though. It's going to end up with Butterick. So Connor Butterick, young man, goes inside 50, chips it towards Mills, who had his head taken off. Has to get the free kick. Barry Hall plays on and basically torches what would have been a goal for Wade Mills. Probably a deserved goal. Barry Hall's not had the greatest game of football today I've ever seen him play. I wouldn't say that to his face, but not many would. Oh, but they are certainly giving it to him. The Palm Beach Currumbin fans absolutely, well, crowds love a villain, don't they? Whether it is a real villain or a perceived villain, but they are absolutely giving it to him. And they're enjoying their time in the sun, literally, here at Southport. Long kick. Tigers trying to bring it back inboard. Again, it's Davidson, half smothered. Hicks went for it and then stopped, so Clark came back in. He goes hard for it. Hicks got involved again at ground level. Palm Beach, there's so many Palm Beach players actually going in and under for the ball, you couldn't tell who they were. And that's the difference. They're just providing numbers to the contest at each juncture.
They've done it all day, haven't they? There's always been an outnumber there at all the balls that spill out or contests around a stoppage. There's always been a lot more maroon jumpers in at the footy than black and gold.
As the ball goes, nice little passage of play for the Palm Beach Currumbin fans in that marquee. It's gone.
They'll be loving this.
Over the boundary line a couple of times in front of them, so they get a chance to cheer and sing. Throw in. Graham over the back. Slapped it forward, and it's stuck under there. Wade Mills in and under. And another ball up. So we've got a little bit of rock music coming in. That's nice. Next door. It's what we call in the business of sound checks, Stars. Wade Mills tackles.
I think Palm Beach will be happy for the ball to be camped in that pocket now for the next 10 minutes. Just enjoy the final moments of the grand final in front of their supporters. Free kick to Labrador though.
They've got the free kick there. It's got to go to Adam Clark. He's going to have to let it go from 50. Late in the game, 33 points the margin. From 48, he lets go. It's a beautifully timed trumpet going on over the other side of the ground. As soon as a player gets to drop the ball onto his foot, somebody's got the trumpet going. It'll put me off, I know that. Beautiful kick. Dylan Troutman, long kick. There's been some great kicking out from fullback, especially from that end with the wind behind you. Down the outer side, the run of Tyler Cornish, who streamed forward, screaming for the ball, and they found him. Good gut running, young man.
That's the difference, isn't it? They've been able to get that ball over the back from the kick in and now got the numbers forward of the kicker. And Cornish did quite well then to wait. Turned out hasn't gone exactly where he wanted to go, but now they're deep inside their forward 50. So now they're in a good spot.
It's going to come back because he kicked it out of bounds on the full, unfortunately. It just went a little bit too far, but I hear what you're saying. Connor Butterick again. But again, that was just an example of the fact that they're prepared to do that very hard running to space, to create the space and create a target. Here's Woolley. Starts on the left and no breeze to speak of. Now the breeze has virtually dropped and one behind result. So this bad, I suppose, errant kicking at goal has not cost them too much. Palm Beach Currumbin, 11 goals, 18. 29 scoring shots to 14. Against a team that boasts some of the most powerful forwards in this competition. Now Labrador coming out, just an ill-directed kick. It's cut off there by Jacob Heron, who's done a lot of hard work today over the boundary line for another throw in.
Who's your best on ground, Pricey?
Very close. Look, I think Jake Dignan has had a monster game. Jason Burge has racked up the stats. Some very, very good footballers. Palm Beach, I think it's definitely coming from them. Jesse Derrick's gone in hard, as he does just there. Young man in Caleb Graham. Also like Harrison, Woolley.
They've had a good contribution, haven't they?
It's an even spread.
Outside of Dignan and Burge have been the main possession
It's
winners.
those two.
It's probably going to be out of those two, you would have thought. But even Headland up forward's been really good. Graham we spoke about. Their defenders, McNevin, even though McNevin's had 3 kicked on him from Retzler.
But could have had plenty more.
Yeah, so
Young Dirk Conan, who's done very well as well.
yeah, been a good spread of contributors, which is what you want from a team effort on grand final day. They've just had more run and more effort from more players.
And Jared Douglas has taken the mark. Well, when you're approaching 20-minute mark of the final term and you're leading by 37 points, you might as well have a ping from the boundary line from 50.
Tom Tynes another one, 3 goals.
3 straight goals, and very timely goals they were as well. So hard up against the boundary line. He's given it every chance, but one behind results. So 11 goals, 19.
And 4 points to Douglas.
So he's kicked 4, and McDonald's kicked 2 goals for as well, has he? So between the two of them is Stephen Tyne at the front. Well spoiled by Thorson. Clark tackled. Ball spills. Stuck underneath. Umpire will just ball it up. As the party atmosphere starts to roll on here at Fankhauser Reserve in the Southport Clubhouse, we've got some good music happening. The Palm Beach Currumbin fans are going off on the hill. It's been a great day for footy in Queensland here at Southport. 21 minutes gone, final term. Burge tackled over the boundary line for another throw in. Good crowd. 2 Gold Coast sides playing a grand final on the Gold Coast, and regardless of the fact that Palm Beach win this is the 3rd year in a row that the Cup will reside on the Gold Coast. Labrador having won the last 2. Palm Beach getting some revenge after last year's game stars, where they were blown away a bit.
Yep, their last 2 games against an opposition that's probably been their nemesis, I guess, for a little while now. But for them to get over the top now and have this special day and 2 really strong performances against them in the finals will be really, really satisfying for Chad Owens and all the people involved with Palm Beach Currumbin who've got their team to where it is today. Just a super spread of contributors. Some really good work rate and run from right across the board has set up this really good, really strong victory.
A well-deserved victory it will be. Coming through, it was Tom Tyne who was thrown to ground after he kicked it inside 50, and that's a ripping grab, isn't it? You'd think he had any right to be taking that. Well done. Is that Circa or Douglas? It's Douglas. Both very thick set.
Perfect for Douglas, just the marking contest where you can wrestle with your opponent and protect the drop zone, and that's exactly what he did.
Well, he kicked a couple versus Labrador in the qualifying final. Hasn't bothered him today, I don't think. He hasn't got the one. No,
this will be his first.
He's kicked 4 behind.
He wants one desperately. Could have had 3 or 4.
Well, he usually does kick telling goals. He comes in from 30 and puts the icing on the palmy cake. Look at him jump all over him. His first goal of the day, and the 12th for Palm Beach Currumbin. They know they're home now. The fans know it. They can hear. They can be singing all they like on the hill over there. 91 plays 51. That's 12 goals 19 to 7 goals 9. And it's only the fact that Palm Beach haven't been as accurate as they can that's Labrador have avoided an even more embarrassing margin.
Yeah, twice as many scoring shots. Been dominant all day. Set it up with a brilliant first quarter into the breeze, Pricey. Kicked those 4 goals up into the breeze and had plenty more scoring shots as well to really stamp their authority on the game. And Labrador have really never been in it since.
Here comes Callum McBurney. It bounces at half forward. Gets away from Daniel. He's young. He's tried hard all day for Labrador. He's had a red-hot crack, as this bloke always does. Wade Mills back to Young. Will be a relayed free kick because Mills was dumped. Young's in the middle. Tackled by Woolley, holding the ball. Incorrect disposal right in the middle of the ground. Josh Woolley will take the free kick and go to the outer side. The skipper and Jesse Derrick fumbles, then has time to pick up and deliver another beautiful ball to Headland. Headland now chips it forward. Harrison, who kept running, gets to the 50-metre arc at left half forward, takes the mark. 24.5 minutes gone, final term of the QAFL Grand Final. Palm Beach will just maintain possession. McNevin now. He had a good couple of weeks. He was the best on ground for Labrador, McNevin, in their qualifying win. And has backed that up with another solid performance. Here's a pass and another fine mark. Good set of hands. You put it in front of this bloke's face, Douglas, he will not miss it. Great set of hands.
Yeah, to say the sting's gone out of the game's an understatement, Pricey, but I think Labrador were quite happy for the Lions to chip around outside the forward 50 there, but Palm Beach Currumbin are not finished yet. They want to go inside 50 for one more crack at it.
Just Tom Tyne giving Todd Featherston a little bit of advice later on in the game. Featherston getting a little bit frustrated as Douglas comes in. Just kicked his first a moment ago. Heats off, kicked his second. It's party time for the Lions here at Frankhauser Reserve at Southport. The fourth goal of this quarter. 13-19-97, play 7-9-51. It's now 46 points the margin in the QAFL 2017 Grand Final.
Another goal to number 16, Jared.
It's probably the other thing about their setup, their price is the number of people up forward that can actually hit the scoreboard. Like McDonald was the one who was busy early in the game. Douglas, then you've got Tyne, who's been the opportunist at ground level a couple of times. Headland's had a few pings. Derek's had a shot or two. They've got their goals from quite different ways of going forward. By comparison to the opposition, have got a very traditional setup with their 2 or 3 tall forwards.
Oh, and the Tyne brothers working in unison there. Tom to Stephen, kicks it long inside 50. Mills to Daniel. Daniel kicks it towards the commentary box wing. Butterick has it punched away from him. Well done there by Richie. Controls the ball. Still did well. That was a clever tap on there by McBurney as well. Ball bounces in front of Troutman, who keeps it in beautifully. Troutman, great balance. Well done. Chips it forward into the arms of Caleb Graham. Has it punched away from him. Headland gets it back to Graham. No, it's picked up there by Hector. Tackled into the ground by Graham. Good work there by Dylan Troutman. Late in the game, you're leading by 43 points and still battling hard on the boundary line to keep it in. Well done.
Yep. It's easy to keep running when you're 46 points in front, Pricey.
It makes the oxygen just flows into the lungs a little bit easier, Stars.
Yeah, the legs are sore, but you can find something when you're that far in front, no doubt. But great play nonetheless by Dylan Troutman, who set the game up for the Lions actually early in the game in the first quarter with the amount of rebound 50s he had.
Oh, Zach Brain did a tumble over his own teammate. Well done. Oh, Mills to Brain, bit of party trick, but comes off his knees and then kicks it towards the boundary line. Taken over there by Callum McBurney, and another throw in 65 metres from goal. Now, you've been involved in this, Stars, at the highest level. We're playing in the Premiership with Collingwood. You get to a point in the game where you know you've got it.
Yeah, I think so. And I reckon the Lions are well and truly at that point right now.
Oh.
They're really enjoying their footy right now, no doubt about that.
How hard is it to keep your momentum going when it's you know it's won?
When you're on the other end of it, it's very difficult, no doubt about that.
Here's Jesse Derrick from 40 under pressure, kicks it to the top of the goal square. Caleb Graham in front, punched away from him. Here's Young. Burge picked up, tackled by Young. Derrick back to Headland. Headland on the left foot. Oh, it's going to be sweet for the veteran. Puts another one through, does Ben Headland. And it is all over Red Rover here at Frankhauser Reserve. Palm Beach Currumbin, first to 100, always wins.
Well, they're definitely home then, Pricey. No, he's had a terrific game as well as Ben Headland. He's been the one that's another one of those medium talls that's been really dangerous in their forward part of the ground, Pricey. So multiple options, quite a different forward setup to your traditional couple of talls, but Ben Headland, one of those guys who's done a terrific job down there.
They've kicked 8 goals, 10
With Douglas.
in the second half.
McDonald, who else they got down there?
They've got plenty. They've got plenty.
Lots of options.
If you had to pick a couple of Labrador players out to go into the best player pool, you'd have Wade Mills and
Bryce
maybe
Retzlaff.
And maybe Young in the back line, and that's about it.
Yeah.
They've been blanketed in their midfield, they've been blanketed up forward. Their small forwards have been ineffectual. But Palm Beach Currumbin, take your hat off to the way they have approached this game and the way it's going for them. Josh Woolley bounces awkwardly for him. Billy Hicks, he gathers the ball, gives it to Brain. Brain now on the pass, gives it to Goldsmith, who drops a pud. Now they'll get out of it, do Palm Beach. Complete junk time now. McBurney, handball off to McNevin. Weaves back out, time for a bounce. Handball across, and Conan again goes to the outer side. And Jesse Derrick. It's going to be a very relieved man holding up the QAFL Premiership Cup. Will Jesse Derrick, after a massive week. And there's Wade Mills, who seriously is so far ahead of anybody else as far as best player for Labrador. It's not funny. Wade Mills had a magnificent game, really battled hard. Adam Clark now going for it. And this bloke, Dignan, for Palm Beach Currumbin, has been a superb link man. Gives it back now to Harrison. He chips it forward. It's going to go back to Dignan. No. Handball forward, ends up with McDonald. Now it's Tom Tyne from 50. He starts it right, and it's another behind. And is it a late hit? It might have been a late hit from Hollis. It's going to come back. Tom Tyne will receive the free kick. And Stephen Tyne was the one who remonstrated with the most vigour, his brother. So Tom Tyne, 3 goals straight. Coming in for 4 goals straight.
Yeah, 4 is going to be a handy result, and another really hard-working performance from that big group of medium-small players, I guess, that Palm Beach Currumbin have had today. Just outworked Labrador at ground level, particularly early in the game, Pricey, when things needed to be you need to set your team on the course, and the amount of times we noticed early in the game where the midfield group were outnumbering Labrador at most contests around the ground. This will be a fitting result for Tom Tyne.
So Tom Tyne covers the ground very well. With 32 minutes gone in the final term. Tom Tyne from 50. Let's go. It doesn't matter. It's a behind. But Palm Beach Currumbin have atoned for last year, and they are the 2017 QAFL Premiers. They have won this game by 53 points over the hotly favoured Labrador side, and their fans come from everywhere to celebrate with them. Congratulations to the Lions. Well done. $14 goals, 20, 104 to 7-9-51. A controversial day for some of the Labrador fans. One of their marquee people in Barry Hall reported for striking late in the 3rd term in an incident behind the play. Palm Beach Currumbin led from start to finish. They led by 27 at quarter time, by 40 at half time, by 33 at 3/4 time, and ran home to be 53-point winners and deserved premiers in the QAFL competition for 2017.
Yeah, that's an amazing effort to Labrador to go through the season winning 16 straight without getting beaten, and then falling over to Palm Beach Currumbin in the second semi and also in the grand final. There are only 2 losses for the year. That's a terrific performance by the Lions to work out where they could beat them and go ahead and execute that plan. So terrific result for their footy club. Had a wide range of contributors today. helping them get the result done, but really it was on the back of work rate, fierce pressure around the contest, and a spread of contributors. Really, not relying on one or two stars to win the game for you, but actually getting a really good even team performance.
And I think that sends a message out as well to other teams too. You're looking at a champion team against a team of champions, more or less, the old adage. That's how it works. But Palm Beach, from the word go, just had that want, that intent, that desire, not only to compete, but to run hard and get to space. They obliterated Labrador in the first quarter and a half.
Yeah, and footy has and always will be a running game, Pricey. You really got to run and outwork the opposition, and never more so than on grand final day. So the Lions today, right from the start, were just running in waves, working together, putting enormous pressure on the opposition, tackling ferociously, all the things that require effort and work rate, the Lions brought to the table in spades today. So deserved grand final winners.
Well, it's been a magnificent day, especially if you're a fan of the Palm Beach Currumbin Lions. And, well, it's, I suppose, if I'm just having a look at Labrador, and they're just standing there watching the celebrations. They know exactly what it's like. They've been there the last couple of years. Congratulations on making it to the big dance, but Palm Beach have taken it away. They have won this game by 53 points, and I'm Michael Price on behalf of Craig Starcevich. Thank you very much, Stas. Really enjoyed calling this game with you today. And we'll catch you next time. Next season, 2018, it's going to be bigger and better for the QAFL. Today, it has been the QAFL Grand Final with Palm Beach Currumbin, the Lions, the winners. Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah. What do you think?